Ford Storm Center. Right now, severe weather coverage from Tulsa's Channel 8.
Good evening. Once again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Collier. We are tracking a new tornado warning now issued for northern Osage County. Let's go to HD Max 8000. We'll show you the storm has now intensified further, and we have now a tornado warning for northeastern Osage County. This includes let's see, the Highway 99 area north into southern portions of Kansas, into Chautauqua County, Kansas, and southern portions of Kansas. As that moves to the northeast pretty rapidly, about 30-40 miles per hour. Giving you the latest storm track on this cell as we track this out of northeastern Osage County. This will take it into Little Caney about 6:54. Caney at 7 o'clock. You need to take your tornado precautions right now, as this is a dangerous situation, has the capability of producing a tornado at any minute. As we go over to Aaron Reeves, meteorologist Aaron Reeves, you're ready to go. Let's go ahead and get a scan on this storm and look at the low-level velocity on that.
Yes, we're seeing rotation, not looking super impressive, but definitely enough to warrant the warning that we have in place. On the velocities, that's what we're seeing. On the reflectivity, we're definitely seeing a very strong signature as far as rotation, with a good little inflow notch and the little hook there on the southwest side of that storm. That's what we're currently seeing there to the west of Copan, around 10 miles or so. If we could go ahead and switch over here to weather 6, you can see that a little better on our high resolution radar there. You can see that they're just to the north of the herd area, moving to the east. And I'll get a direction and a bearing on that for you here, if I can pull that up. The storm is moving east at 45 miles per hour. There's up to half-dollar size hail located with that storm as well. So you definitely want to be taking your tornado precautions if you live in Caney, Copan, and points to the west from there. Mike?
It's meteorologist Aaron Reeves. Let's go back to HD Max 8000. And once again, where we see this white area, that's the significant hail core. And that's going to continue to move to the northeast towards Little Caney. And again, we're watching this area right here, pretty rural area for anything for us affecting people. However, if you do live in rural northern portions of Osage County, you need to seek shelter. Take your tornado precautions, as that's going to clip far northern portions of Washington County. So here's Highway 75, and there's Caney, Kansas, and far southern portions of Kansas, Little Caney as well. And this is targeting your area. We could see a tornado develop with this supercell as it moves to the northeast. I want to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. We'll take a larger view, or a bigger view, of the thunderstorm activity. We continue to see numerous showers and thunderstorms develop. We have some strong thunderstorms just west of Tulsa. As we take a further southern view, here's Barnsdall, here's the metro region right here. Here's the strong thunderstorms. Now beginning to see a little bit of a hail core develop with the southern flanking storm. And this one we're going to watch really closely. Let me get a closer view in. Not severe at this second. However, as the hail continues to increase, there is the possibility that this storm could become severe, and it is what we call a little tail end Charlie. May see some development with this, as far as tornado concern is what we've been talking about. This is northwest of Manford, and we can see the areas of white. That's the potential hail size increasing. So that's going to move to the northeast, right over Lake Keystone, just north of Manford, and you can see it crossing Highway 412. So if you have anybody traveling west along 412 outside of Tulsa, you need to give them a heads up. They're about to encounter some significant hail. As we look further to the north of us right now, we continue to see that tornado warning continue for northern Osage County, and this will go for the next 45 minutes. Here's the tornado warned storm. This is northeast of 4 Acre. There's actually 2 cells that we're tracking. One north of 4 Acre, that's severe. Also, this storm here, nice little inflow notch beginning to develop. Highway 99, there is a possibility that we could see a tornado develop in this vicinity. And let's get another update from meteorologist Aaron Reeves, who's going to dissect this storm and take a closer look in at a 3D perspective. Aaron?
Yes, the storm is actually looking a little bit more impressive on our last radar scan. We have the strong rotation signature just to the northeast of the herd area. Also, very large hail showing up on the radar estimate, over 2 inches possible. And then on the left side here, you see the hook echo, strong inflow notch. I'll go ahead and take a cross section or a 3D view of that. And you can see we have the hail view on now, likely some large hail in that. As you see pink high up in the storm, that's high reflectivity up in the storm. We take a look at the tornado table, and you can see that we have this very tilted profile. That's the shear that's tilting that storm over and helping it to rotate. And then on the other side of it, you can see where we have the inflow cutting in under that. So definitely a pretty decent looking 3D view of that as well. Mike, guess that moves off to the east towards Caney and Copan.
That's right. And back to HD Max 8000 as Aaron gets our storm chasers. It's this area right here, as Aaron mentioned, that there is a capability of a tornado producing at any second. This is a very dangerous system. This storm is actually stronger than the one we were dealing with earlier in western Osage County. So as this moves northeast, you need to take cover. If you're in Chautauqua, if you're in Little Caney, if you're in Caney, you need to seek shelter immediately. Go to the middle part of the house. Stay away from outside walls or windows. Seek shelter in the interior closet. This is a potentially life-threatening situation with a tornado possibly developing from this. Right now, radar indicated, but I can tell you, just looking at this inflow notch, we are looking at the possibility of a tornado developing at any second. So Aaron's watching our stream right now coming in from our chasers. Do we have anybody close by, Aaron?
They are headed that way currently. They're just about to get there. Fred is en route on North Highway 75. If you want to pull his stream up, he's en route. He's got some pretty heavy rainfall. Not looking like any strong winds currently on his stream.
Okay, and let's go to Bartlesville, Cam, if we can, please, because we're still looking back to the northwest. A lot of ominous-looking clouds, a lot of dark clouds as we track that storm in northern Osage County. Earlier, the storm was more situated to the southwest. Now, as we look to the northwest towards that cell, we can see the clouds moving into the thunderstorm. You see the camera shaking, and I've been telling you all afternoon, evening long about the inflow, and that's the winds moving into the storm. We haven't seen strong inflow with this, most of the storms that have been earlier today. Different story right now. We are starting to see finally some better inflow with these thunderstorms, and that's why we're concerned with the potential for tornado developing from that supercell in northern portions of Osage County. Back to HD Max 8000. Again, the track on this thing is going to take it towards Little Caney about 6:57. Right now we're at 6:36, and that's going to take it at Little Caney here in the next 15-25 minutes. Caney around 7:02. But these storms sometimes take a little more jog towards easterly turns, so that's why we have that tornado warning in effect for northern Washington County, extreme northern Washington County, north of Copan, as this storm continues to make its way the northeast about 20-25 miles per hour. I want to give you the hail core, look at the hail sizes with this as we track this storm moving to the northeast. We can see that hail is pretty significant as well. And the possibility exists for up to baseball-size hail moving into Chautauqua County and Chautauqua, Kansas. So baseball-size hail possible as it moves to the northeast towards Little Caney and Caney about 7:02. Now, Aaron, we had, you said Fred Williams north on 75, correct?
Yes, he is heading north on 75. He was at 75 and 3000 Road. That was about 10 minutes ago, so he should be getting up pretty close to that by now. Okay. Also, the storm near Peru is showing signs of becoming a little bit more organized as well. And I've seen some pictures from some of our chasers that have sent in that show some rising scud cloud and lowering as well with that. So it's definitely something we're keeping an eye on back here.
Okay, and that's with the storms further to the southwest as we track more storms down in new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. There's the storm right there. Look at that hail core beginning to develop. This is the one I was telling you about, the southern flanking storm. Do we have anybody on that right now, Aaron?
We have Jeff Smith on that storm.
That's right.
I will work on getting him.
Okay. Let's get Jeff to call in. We'll get a streamer from him. He's been live streaming as well. So new severe thunderstorm warning for northern Tulsa County. So this storm is intensifying. It is the southern flanking storm, and that means that we could see the possibility of potential low-level rotation with that. We'll have Aaron scan that here in just a second. So we're watching these thunderstorms as they continue to move to the northeast. There's the latest track on the storm from Peru, moving it towards Skytook and Sperry, moving towards Highway 75 here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Hail, again, is the primary concern. However, we could see a tornado develop, or I should say tornadic potential develop with this cell as it continues to move to the northeast. Let's go to Weather 7 if we could, please, and we'll take a look at our live streaming video right now. Weather 7, and this is Jeff Smith, correct, Aaron?
Jeff Smith's stream there near the Manford Peru area.
Okay, let's go into Jeff. Jeff, this storm has been rapidly intensifying. Nice little low cloud base with it. Tell us about this storm, Jeff.
Mike, I've been watching this thing develop here for about 15 minutes, seeing some fairly good rotation. There's a low wall cloud on the thing. I don't know if you got my stream or not.
We do. We have it up.
Okay. That's a low wall cloud. There's some broad rotation around it. Fixing to come over the hill, so we'll be able to see the very bottom of the wall cloud here in just a bit. There's been some rapid rising scud into this thing. Looks like it's really getting its act together right now. You talked about the winds just earlier, and the inflow winds here are probably at about 10 to 15 now, so they picked up a little bit. It's really getting its act together.
Okay, and of course the hail core with this is intensified as well, and that's indicative of an intensifying thunderstorm, and that's moving to the northeast. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the storm right now. However, let's go to Weather 6. Aaron, do you have of our HD Max up real quick? I want to take a closer look in at this cell. As it moves to the northeast, we'll watch this. There it is. There's the hook, little hook echo we're beginning to see now, just south of Prue, northeast of Manford. So if I'll step out here and I'll hop back in for you real quick. Let's go ahead and take 3D down just for a second. Let me get just the 2D perspective. Here's the hook echo that we're watching. This is northeast of Manford. Here's 412, Highway 412. Jeff Smith, what was your exact location again?
Mike, I'm at 36th Street North and Highway 75.
Okay, so you're
looking straight off to the west of it.
Okay, so you're still a good distance to the east of this. So he's looking back right in this vicinity right here is where we'd watch for the potential for a tornado to develop. Right now, only a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. However, if this is able to gain a little more strength, then we could potentially have a tornado warning develop off this. We do have some weak low-level rotation. Let's go back to the video. This is, again, southeast of Prue that we're looking at from Highway 75. We're looking back to the west. We do have a nice little lower cloud base. Jeff's confirming a wall cloud associated with this, and his perspective is a little better. What's going to happen, though, this storm is going to continue to move east closer to his area, so we're going to get a better viewpoint of this cell as he watches it move a little closer into his vicinity. Again, this is what we'll be watching for any, development. And there, I know you're zooming in just a little bit. Jeff, if you don't mind panning down just a little bit for me. And we'll get that in focus. And just the sunset is kind of giving us some backlight to that wall cloud. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's kind of lighting it up in the back. There's still broad rotation around that whole wall cloud, the meso area. I don't see anything real threatening at this point in time. I'm sure if you're under it, it really looks scary. But it is rotating, and it's something that definitely needs watching, Mike.
Absolutely. And again, the low-level indicators are not there for tornado develop right now at this second, but that could change. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight for Tulsa and areas to the northwest. Severe thunderstorm warning for this storm. So, Jeff, stay online with us. We're going to continue to watch it. We're going to go over to meteorologist Aaron Reeves, who's going to dissect this storm a little further, take that 3D view, and give us an update. Aaron?
Yes, if we go back to, we got it up there. This low-level energy is beginning to increase such that it's more supportive to low-level rotation, and that's probably why we're seeing this uptick in this activity. And here's a look at that storm near Prue. It also has a very large hail core in that as well, hail up to the size of around $50 or so. So very large hail, a very strong updraft. I'll go ahead and take a 3D view of that for you so we can get a little bit better look at it. And you can see not super strong as far as the rotation signature currently, but it is nice and tilted, so there's a decent amount of shear. And we have a little bit of a weak echo region there, so there's a little bit of inflow with that as well that's helping to create that strength of that storm. We'll also go ahead and I'll redo this here real quick. We'll take a look at the hail potential with this as well. So I'll switch to the hail table and notice the high reflectivities here, the pink colors that are going high up into the storm around 25 to 30,000 feet. That's indicating a lot of heavy objects up into the air, and those, likely some large hail with that as well, as indicated by the radar estimates. So that's what we're looking at with that storm. I'll take a quick jog back to the north, and we'll take a closer look at this other storm, which is still very strong, very big hail producers. We have golf ball size hail potential with this, also still showing some low level rotation. Not super strong looking on our radar signature here, but we do have a nice hook echo, and I'll take a quick view of that in the 3D mode, and we'll see what's going on with that. Likely a lot of hail with that as we look at the hail table. Switching over to the tornado table real quick, a lot of shear, decent amount of inflow undercutting that as well. So we do have that nice tornadic vortex signature on there, but no confirmed tornadoes yet, just radar indicated rotation in the low levels, and that's what we're seeing. Storms are still moving east, so if you live in Caney and just to the north of Copan, you definitely do need to be taking your tornado precautions as we speak. Mike?
All right, thank you so much. It's meteorologist Aaron Reeves in the weather office monitoring our other Supermax radar, and we'll break in, of course, with more developments as we go through the evening. Again, it's this cell right now that is drawing some concern as it is to the northwest of Tulsa. This is Prue. We have Manford here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. We do have a slight, well, I should say small hook echo indicator on this. However, it is pretty ragged right now, and let's go ahead and go back to the video or the live streaming. This is live video coming in from Jeff Smith looking back to the west. There's a wall cloud with that. We are starting to see that become a little more clear, Jeff, as that begins to get closer to the area. Are you still online with us?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here. I'm starting to see now some moisture, kind of like a beaver tail trying to wrap around this mezzo now at this time. So it's slowly kind of getting its act together, trying to strengthen continually. So.
I got you. And the inflow to it, we've been talking a lot about that. Is it still about 15 miles per hour?
I would say 15. It seems to be increasing just a tad. Let me get a step out of the truck just a minute. It's about 15 right now. Just kind of loosely organizing, but it's still something to definitely watch for just a little bit.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, Jeff, hold on 1 second for me. Let's go to live First Alert City Cam. Let's go to City Cam right now, and we're going to look at this at a different perspective. We're going to go zoom in. Here it is. Here's the wall cloud here. Pretty ragged, a little unorganized, and radar can confirm that. So this is a live look right now. This is our KTUL studios. So we're looking back to the northwest from Channel 8. So here's the lower cloud base and the potential wall cloud. Pretty ragged right now. However, we could see something develop along this. As I look back at HD Max 8000, we see the hail core to the north of the storm. So the hail core right over here. There's HD Max. There's the hail core in the white. And then we have this little bit of a hook echo that has developed, a little inflow notch now with this storm. And as we said, we're starting to get a little more stronger inflow into the cell. Back to First Alert City Cam, because this really tells the story. What we're going to watch for, there's the wall cloud, and what we'll watch for, Jeff, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here, Mike.
Do you see any funnel trying to develop?
I'm looking off to the kind of the left side of the storm. That may be a funnel trying to develop right there.
All right, tornado warning now for, let's see, Tulsa?
Tornado
Tulsa
warning
County,
just
southern
issued.
Osage County. They're just from Prue to Manford on to the east.
All right, we have a tornado warning now in place for this cell. Told you this about 15-30 minutes ago. This was the one that could become concerned. We call it Taylor and Charlie, as it has that potential, being the southern flanking storm, to be out on its own and to produce a tornado. So here it is right now, tornado warning in effect for east of Prue, Manford. Tornado warning now for northern Tulsa County, including downtown, north to Highway 75, including the airport. Jeff Smith is on the line watching this storm, has watched it develop from its infancy. Let's go back to First Alert City Cam. Jeff, as we watch this cell, there's the wall cloud with this. We can see this live, First Alert City Cam. Tell us about how this storm has matured now and the latest developments on it.
Mike, this thing's still growing. It looks like the wall cloud is trying to get more organized. Up above the wall cloud, I'm seeing definite signs of supercell characteristics. The stacked plate look, kind of. I don't know if you guys can pan up at it a little bit. See kind of like a whale's mouth down there. Yeah, it's definitely trying to get its act together and do something.
All right.
Been looking for funnels. I don't see any kind of funnels coming out of it. It still looks a little loosely organized to actually produce. Just heard sirens going off. I think they're coming from, obviously coming from Tulsa there. But it still remains a little loosely organized and still lacking a little bit in the inflow. If the inflow kicks up just a bit, I'm afraid we may have a dangerous situation on our hands.
All right, stay with us, Jeff. Do not leave us. Inflow is air, wind traveling into this storm, still a little weak. However, we're going to watch right in this vicinity for a potential tornado to develop. This is where we'd watch right here within this wall cloud. or even back here on the northern side of that wall cloud as well, as we watch the potential for a tornado to develop in this vicinity. This is a very dangerous situation if you live in northern Tulsa County. I want to give you a viewpoint of what we're looking at. So Tulsa's Channel 8 KTUL is on the western half of Tulsa County. I want to show you HD Max. We'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. So here's Tulsa's Channel 8, western half of Tulsa County. All right, we look to the northwest. Here's the storm we're looking at, and this is the area of rotation where we could see potentially a tornado develop. We're watching that wall cloud. That's moving to the northeast. So what I need you to do, if you live in northern Tulsa County, eastern Osage County, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation. Go to a storm shelter or lowest level of your home. Lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside until all clear is given. This is a tornado warning. We tell you about the potential for this to occur, of course, any day here in Oklahoma, as we all are well aware. This is the time that you have your plan in place and you need to be active with it. So the tornado warning now, southeastern Osage County, northern Tulsa County. And there is the nice inflow notch into the storm. And we have a nice little hook echo that has developed with it. And you can see the hail core on the northern fringe of this cell. Back to live First Alert City Cam, and we can look at this storm. There's the wall cloud that we're watching. Potential tornado could develop any second with this storm. Jeff, what do you see right now?
Mike, is still just rotating very broadly. The wall clouds look like it's getting a little more organized, definitely more organized. Right there in the center, you guys are probably looking at it straight to the north from your tower cam.
Yep.
I'm looking at it from the east, and I do see a more definitive wall cloud kind of in the middle. The inflow moisture coming around this storm is actually getting more broad from my location. I don't know if my stream's still up or not, but the inflow is really cranking up.
Yep.
The end of this thing. Looks like it's trying to rotate. There may be a couple of finger-shaped funnels come out of it. I haven't seen it definitely, but I'm just still kind of continuing sitting here to watch. I do hear sirens going off in Tulsa. I'm still at my location. The storm looks like, Mike, the whole storm looks like it's either turning to the right
and that'd
coming
be more
straight east.
That'd be more indicative of a potential tornado developing. Aaron, if we're going to stay on this camera shot, I want an update verbally on the dissection of that storm. Give our viewers some information on this storm as we look at storm relative velocities with this. Okay, we can't hear you, but we'll get you on in just a second. Meteorologist Aaron Reeves, stand by. He was just saying that the storm relative velocities not incredibly intense as far as the low-level rotation. And as we get a better view of this, it's still pretty broad area of a wall cloud. This is the wall cloud that we're looking at here, right here, and it's still pretty ragged, not too intense as far as at the surface is concerned. As we look at this, we still have that wall cloud. As we go back to HD Max 8000, real quick, we want to show you this. Here is the supercell that we are tracking north of 412. Here's Tulsa. Here's the city of Tulsa. This is looking back to the northwest of downtown Tulsa. There's the hail core in the white, and it's this area right here that would have the capability of producing a tornado. So this thing's rotating, and at any minute it could produce a tornado, as we do have a wall cloud in place. It's just having a really difficult time getting its act together and producing a tornado and putting that on the ground. Back to live First Alert City Cam as we watch this unfold, live television here as we track that nice, well-defined wall cloud. Jeff, it seems like it's now starting to get a little more organized again.
Yeah, it looks like it's cranking up again. I do see a possible funnel. It's still several miles to my west. I do see a possible bowl funnel trying to come right out of the middle of this wall cloud.
Okay, I see what you're, okay. Let me.
I don't know if you can see that on your tower cam, but I see it. It looks like it is trying to break up just a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's breaking up a little bit. The funnel is. Wall cloud's still very distinct. There's still a good moisture tail right into it. Inflow is cranking up. I would say my winds are probably 20 mile an hour now at my location. Just trying to watch this thing for any signs of funnels or rotation. The whole thing is actually spinning.
All right.
The storm looks like a dangerous storm, so I do see the hail core off to the north as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't leave us, Jeff. Stay on with us. Aaron,
Okay.
And we're going to check with Justin in just a minute as well, but also, Aaron, an update here from the weather office.
Yes, we are still seeing that rotation signature. You see this strong area of green here on the velocities. If we could go to weather 6 real quick and take a look at our high resolution radar. The area of rotation between Tulsa and Prue, you see this hail marker here showing hail up around 2 inches. We're seeing hail around the size of golf balls here, but the rotation signature located right here. You can see the hook echo on our high resolution radar as well. Also, what we're seeing show up is we're getting strong winds coming out of the back of this storm called the rear flank downdraft. Then we have the inflow winds coming in, and that's what kind of helps wrap these things up. And that's where we're seeing that rotation signature. I'll go ahead and take a cross-section view of this real quick just to see what's going on with it. And we can see that this is a tall storm up over 40,000 feet. There's the inflow area. We have it tilted over the top of that, so a pretty decent little rotation signature there as that's tracking on to the east and northeast at a good little clip there, Mike.
Right, thank you very much. That's meteorologist Aaron Reeves in the weather office. Again, this is moving to the northeast, but again, we start to see a little more of a right turn with these type of situations, and that would take aim on northern Tulsa County. Let's check in with Justin Teague as we look at Weather 7, or as First Alert City Cam. We've zoomed in with this storm. Justin, what do you see right now, and what is your current location?
Mike, I'm sitting at 86th Street North and Highway 75, looking to my west-southwest, and I can see the area of rotation. I'm sure you can see it there on the camera. You know, this thing's got a pretty good updraft. It's rotating in the mid-levels pretty strong. I see the condensation on the east side there building, so that's the area that we're really paying attention to on the north side where it meets that rain. So we're watching real close to see if we can see any funnels or anything like that, but I haven't seen anything from my vantage point. And I do have my stream up if you all need to cut over to that. I've got a pretty high point view over here. So
okay.
I'll continue. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm directing Aaron. If you could get that on Weather 7, we'll show you both perspectives. And you can see that we have the wall cloud here, still a little disorganized. However, there it is as we take a look from your perspective as well. Justin, again, tell me your location one more time as you look back to the west.
I'm at 86th Street North and Highway 75.
Okay. And how's the inflow far the winds concerned into your area going into this cell?
Let me step out and check real quick. I haven't actually stepped out of the vehicle yet.
So there's
we do have warm inflow currently into the storm. I was looking at surface obs, which is why I dropped into this area, and you know we do have back surface winds, kind of similar to what we saw in Osage County earlier with that tornado warning storm. So you know it's definitely a serious storm right now. I can see the rotation in the mid-levels, and then, of course, the kind of raggedy wall cloud right now, but it's still picking up a lot of condensation, which indicates that air is rising and turning rapidly as it moves into the storm.
Exactly. And let's go over to our First Alert City Cam again. This is what we're about to show you is a real zoomed-in view. There's the wall cloud. Right here, we could see a tornado or a funnel develop from this wall cloud. Jeff, are you still online with us? Can we get Jeff back on the line as he is just Jeff, are you there? All right, Jeff, yeah. Tell us what you've been watching over the past 5 minutes in the development of this.
Yes, I have. I've been seeing funnels try to develop and kind of go back up. It hasn't produced anything on the ground yet. At this time, I do not see a funnel. I was watching one just a couple of minutes ago. A bowl funnel tried to come down out of the middle of the wall cloud. Still staying at my location at 36th Street North and 75. Just still watching it. It still continues to look better. It looks like it's more organized. Sun's fixing to come out behind it, actually.
Right, give you a little more backlight to it. So right. What we're doing here is we're looking at 3 different perspectives for you. One with our storm chasers who are on the ground watching this live with us. We're going to keep them on air so they can cut in if they see anything develop, or of course we can see it ourselves as well. This is live First Alert City Cam, so we have our City Cam on it, and we are of course monitoring our HD Max system for the low-level rotation. There's a beautiful shot of the supercell, Justin. You've got a beautiful shot. Check this out as we see a perfect looking supercell to your just to your west, and of course the wall cloud. And we go back to HT Max 8000, and we see that we have what we call a hook echo. A little more on the northern side, has become a little more intense. We're going to see if any more development with this as this continues to move northeast. Tulsa, of course, right here, downtown Tulsa, and then north on Highway 75. Everybody would be looking to the west, but if you live on Highway 75 in eastern Osage County, western Tulsa County, and northern Tulsa County, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation. Tornado warning has been issued. Go to a storm shelter, lowest level of your home, lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside until all clear is given. This is a very dangerous situation. Tornado warning in place right now. Back to live First Alert City Cam as we track this storm moving into northern portions of Tulsa County. Here's the wall cloud. Where what we are looking for is any funnel cloud or tornado that would develop off of this. And right now, at least from this perspective, it looks a little ragged. Looks a little disorganized. So this is something to keep on. Let's go to, actually, let's say step out of the way, clear a little more. We could see trying to get something, trying to develop. Jeff, can you confirm that? Justin, can you confirm that as far as at the surface, anything trying to develop?
Mike, this is John, and I'm up here at the Kansas border.
Okay, John, we'll get back to you in just a second. And can we get the camera set up outside? All right, Aaron, let's give an update on that right now. Aaron, with the update dissecting that radar.
Yes, we still have that very strong rotation signature just to the northwest of Tulsa. There's also a couple other storms. I'll get into all of them, but we do have the strong storm just to the northwest of Tulsa currently, moving off to the east-northeast, generally toward the Turley and Sperry areas. Sperry, you'll likely be just on the north side of this in the large hail. In the hail core, so definitely make that something that you're taking into consideration. If you live in the Turley, Sperry, down toward the north side of Tulsa, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately, because this is a strong storm. It can touch down a tornado at any point in time. Right now, we're still radar indicated with this, but it definitely is a very strong storm that can set one down at any point in time. I'll take a 3D view of this, and we'll take a look at what we're seeing on the large scale with it, and still seeing that nice hook echo. Strong updraft within that, some inflow winds undercutting that updraft as it's tilted over. So definitely a strong rotation signature with that as well. We're also noticing a rear flank downdraft on the southern edge of this as well. So you have that pushing out this way towards Oakhurst and Sapulpa. Then you have the inflow winds coming in from the southeast, and that's all kind of helping it to wrap up there as it's now just to the west and northwest of the Tulsa area. The storms further back to the northeast. I'll go ahead and get rid of this 3D view. The storm here just to the southeast of Bartlesville also showing some signs of getting a little better organized, some small hail showing up with that, maybe some weak mid-level rotation. And then the storm near the Caney area is still very strong, very large hail, a nice inflow notch and a strong low-level rotation signature with that as well. Currently not have the tornado warning on that still, but still definitely a storm to be watched if you live in the Coffeyville area down towards South Coffeyville as this moves off to the east. Mike, that's what I have there from my end, but definitely large hail in this storm to the northwest of Tulsa and the potential to touch down a tornado at any point in time.
Okay, let's go back to live First Alert City Cam. Here's HD Max tornado warning. Northern Tulsa County needs seek shelter immediately. Live First Alert City Cam at this hour. Here it is, and here's the wall cloud that we are tracking. In just a few minutes, I'm going to actually step outside on our weather deck, and I'm going to give you a better perspective of this from our point of view, from the meteorologist's point of view of what we're looking at. As you can see, this is a nice, well-defined wall cloud. At any second, we could see a tornado develop off of this. So as we watch this get a little closer, this would be traveling just north of downtown Tulsa. Here we are in the Lookout Mountain area. We're looking back to the northwest. So this would be just west of downtown, or just, I'd say, west-northwest of downtown. Still a little ragged. However, we're going to watch for any tornadic development on this base. We see a lot of lightning. If we continue to see increasing amounts of lightning, then that gives us a sign, too, that it is intensifying. I don't want you to take this lightly. This is a very dangerous situation. I'm a meteorologist. I can go outside, I can analyze it, and be able to see, and that's my job, is to convey that information to you to be able to help keep you safe. So again, this is the wall cloud that we're tracking here, and it has the capability of producing a tornado at any second. We have a tornado warning in place right now because of this wall cloud. And we're going to watch this as we get closer into the Tulsa area. Matter of fact, let's go to HD Max 8000 right now, and we continue to see This storm moved to the northeast. Excuse me, a tornado warning for northern Tulsa County continues. If you live in northern Tulsa, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation. Go to the center part of your home. Stay away from outside walls or windows. Go to the lowest part of your house. All right, stay away from those outside walls, windows. Go to the closet if you can. All right, I'm outside right now. I'm taking on our weather deck. Ed, our wonderful photog here. The unique perspective here of being at the station is that we have an incredible view of downtown Tulsa, but we can also watch these storms as they move over. And being a meteorologist, I'm able to determine where exactly I'll be able to see this from our weather deck, where we have the wall cloud. I can see the wall cloud right now. Here's downtown, Ed, real quick, here's downtown Tulsa right here from our perspective. And then we just go a little more to the west-northwest. We can see the lower cloud base, and the wall cloud is just beyond these trees right here. And this wall cloud, if it continues, is going to go pretty much, I would say, maybe jog a little northwest of downtown Tulsa and north on Highway 75. I see a lot of cloud to ground lightning strikes associated with this. So another thing, though, I want to emphasize being out here, you know, when we had the Sand Springs tornado last year around this time, we had really good inflow into the storm. The wind was really cranking up. Today, the winds are much lighter, and that is probably why we haven't seen a tornado develop on the ground just yet, because the inflow into the storm is not able to help crank up any tornado to develop here at the surface, here at the ground. So here's the wall cloud just beyond the horizon here, and that is going to continue to move to the east-northeast. It has slowed down, it seems, just a little bit. We still have the possibility that it could form a tornado any time. Matter of fact, I can see the wall cloud very well, and it's just right beyond these trees here. I know it's a little difficult to see, but it will come into better perspective for us as we go through the next 15-20 minutes. Back to HDMAX 8000 right now is that storm. This is what I'm looking at. It's this supercell to the northwest of Tulsa that's going to continue to move to the east, northeast. What happens with these cells, they tend to make more of a right jog or right turn, and so this is going to take it very close to downtown area, but on our current projection, we're going to keep it just northwest of downtown Tulsa. Again, this is a tornado-warned storm. This is a very dangerous situation as we watch this storm continue to evolve at any second. Let's go to Live First Alert City Cam, give you a different perspective, a different view. Live First Alert City Cam, we're going to see that this storm still has a well-defined wall cloud with this. So you see right now, Live First Alert City Cam, wall cloud. There's the wall cloud. We could see a tornado develop off of this at any second. Do we still have Jeff on the line, Mason? Jeff, tell us about the progress with this storm, and has it gained any strength in your eyes?
Mike, it doesn't look like it's really gotten any more organized. It's still a pretty ragged wall cloud. Haven't seen any funnels as of late. The base actually looks like it's trying to retreat up into the storm a little bit at this point in time. It kind of goes in cycles. The wall cloud will look really good for a little bit. It's looking a little better, matter of fact, right now.
I see that. I see that.
It'll kind of cycle up and down, and I've watched that many times, but have not seen anything definitely on the ground. I've seen a few funnels. Right now I'm looking at a possible occlusion maybe to the north of this storm. This thing is wrapping around it. Okay, I see a funnel. I see a funnel directly off to my west.
Okay.
It's a needle funnel. It's kind of broke up though already. It just kind of tries to do that every now and then. It'll spit down a couple of funnels. Nothing that looks like it's really going to get its act together, and then then they go back up in the air. I see another funnel on the back side of the wall cloud. I'm still at my position, 36th Street North at Highway 75. Are you there?
Yep, I'm still there.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
Jeff. I'm listening attentively to your update on the storm as you see it from your vantage point. HDMAX on the right side of the screen right now. So here's the wall cloud, and HDMAX 8000 on the right-hand part of your screen showing that hook echo. Very well defined. Let's go HDMAX 8000. I want to show you a bigger view real quick, because there. Hey, Jeff, this is really beginning to get.
I'm seeing a good funnel coming around the wall cloud. A good funnel coming out of it as it comes up to the north side of the wall cloud. It's rotating. It's a good size funnel. It's not on the ground yet.
All right,
watching this.
if you live in Turley, seek shelter now. This could form a tornado at any second. If you live in Turley, get to your shelter. This is a dangerous. Okay, go on,
This
Jeff.
wall cloud is rapidly rotating. It has really stepped up in the past minute that we've been on the phone.
Yep.
This thing is just cranking now.
Good.
I'm seeing funnels on the front side of it, kind of rotating around it. Man, this thing is really cranking.
All right, if you live in Turley, again, you need to seek shelter. Sperry, seek shelter. This is a dangerous situation. If you live in downtown Tulsa, you need to seek shelter as well. Go to storm shelter, or lowest level of your home. Lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside until all clear is given. This is a very dangerous situation. We could have a tornado develop any second. This could potentially be a life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now. This is a dangerous, potentially life-threatening situation, as I mentioned, as this supercell. See a nice hook echo with this storm. That's moving to the northeast towards Turley, towards Highway 75, and there's Highway 11 north towards Sperry, Highway 75 as we go towards Skytook. There's Highway 75 north towards Skytook and Sperry. Get my bearings straight there. And then we have the hook echo moving into eastern Osage County. Back to live First Alert City Cam. This is a picture-perfect hook echo. There's the wall cloud. Are the funnels that are starting to try to form that Jeff was talking about? They're trying to see little spin-ups occur, Jeff. I can verify that myself by just looking at live First Alert City Cam. Go on. Give us an update.
Yeah, it's still, okay, here's another funnel trying to develop right now.
Okay, let's thank
we're
you.
going.
Keep going.
It's kind of it just kind of develop and it goes away, and it'll develop and it goes away. It's went away now. The wall cloud definitely looks really intense. It is rotating like crazy. Just sitting here watching the moisture inflow into this thing it's intense, and at the very front of this wall cloud looks like a big nub funnel kind of trying to come down out of it. It's just a little lower than the wall cloud. Okay, it's a good sized funnel now. I don't know if you see that on my stream, Mike.
Can we get Jeff Smith's stream up?
Oh, this is a huge funnel coming. This is going to be a dangerous storm, Mike. Very dangerous.
Is that Jeff Smith, Aaron?
I also have Justin Teague's stream, and it's pretty impressive as well.
Okay.
I can pull that up here in a second.
All right, we're going to get Justin up. We still have the weather deck, so I'm going to have to go out there in just a moment. Is this the funnel that he's referring to? It's a little far out, and our screen here is small. So, Justin, are you on with us, or is it still Jeff?
This is Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
Aaron, can you go and get his video
Okay,
up?
Mike, inflow is really cranking now. Inflow is at 30 miles an hour, I would say. Really cranking into the storm.
Okay.
It's about 5 miles off to my west at this time. I'm going to have to reposition here just a little bit. I see wrapping rain curtains around this wall cloud, Mike.
Okay.
It's just coming all the way around the front of the wall cloud.
And I believe we're starting to see now on CityCam the funnel. I mean, how wide is it?
This is a wide funnel at the very front edge, the north edge of the wall cloud.
That's what we're seeing here.
Yep.
We're seeing potentially a tornado develop live on television here. This is, again, a very dangerous situation. You need to seek shelter. Northern Tulsa County from, let's say, 412, 244. If you live along that corridor and north, this is a dangerous, life-threatening situation. Seek shelter. If you live in an apartment complex, go to the lowest level floor. If you live in a mobile home, get to a storm shelter immediately. Justin Teague, one of our other storm team members. Justin, give us an update where you're at and what you're seeing.
Hey, Mike, 76th Street North and Highway 75. Got to cut to the chase. I see a high funnel. I'm looking to my west-southwest, and I do see a high funnel with some strong low-level rotation. I do not see any contact with the surface at this point, no condensation below the high funnel that I was seeing, but there was high funnel.
Is that on the let's see, the eastern side of that wall cloud?
Yes, it is. There, it's rotating rapidly, and you know, I can see it whipping around up there just a little bit.
Yep.
Do you have my stream up?
I do. I'm watching it right now.
Okay, yeah. If you just look to the left side of the wall cloud, it's pretty high up there. But watch right there, and you might see the little nose of the funnel poke down. You know, otherwise this storm is spinning like a top. You know, from in the mid levels, I haven't seen many storms like this in the Tulsa area that are this visible. And the tornado sirens are sounding again. That's a good thing. We need people to know that this is a very serious storm.
Right.
That it could produce a tornado at any moment.
All right.
We have.
Justin, stand by.
I see the funnel starting to extend again.
Okay, Justin, stand by. Let's go back to HD Max 8000 zoomed in. This is Highway 75. You can see stretching out of, let's say, North Tulsa. Here's Turley. Here's Highway 75. And we look back to Lake Yohola. And we can see that the thunderstorm, or the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, is still very clearly showing that sign, that very strong rotation area in southeastern portions of Osage County, moving into northern Tulsa County. Here's Turley. Here is 412 down the south. Here's the interdispersal loop as we head towards Highway 11, the Gilcrease Highway, I should say, down south towards downtown Tulsa. Matter of fact, let me get a larger view here to get a better perspective of what we're looking at. Here's downtown Tulsa. This would be to the northwest of downtown. And so great inflow into this. Nice hook. We could potentially see tornado on the ground any second. Justin, what's the latest update from your perspective?
That funnel is still rotating broadly. It hasn't tried to extend much. I saw one brief moment here where it tried to make its way down, but it's still what I would consider a high funnel. It hasn't made a solid effort, but it is consolidating and rotating fairly rapidly right now. Okay.
And so this is still showing signs of low-level rotation as we look at live First Alert City Cam.
All right, the funnel is extending. The funnel's starting to extend. Do you have my stream?
Yep. Let's go to City Cam, please. City Cam. Let's go to City Cam right now. And there it is as we take a closer view in. I'm going to hop out here on our weather deck once again. Here it is the wall cloud. And we can see nice lowering. Here's again, to just give you a point of reference, here's downtown Tulsa, as you see, just to the northeast of the station. And actually, I'm going to move over here just so I can get a better view of this myself. And yes, we have a nice funnel cloud right here. Ed, can you come over here? We have a nice funnel cloud. Here we go in the center part of this. Right here, we see nice clouds inflowing into the storm. We do have a very well-defined funnel cloud. This could form a tornado in any second. So we're no longer dealing with just a wall cloud. We actually do have a funnel in place right now. Matter of fact, that is now almost halfway to the ground. We have a live funnel right here on Lookout Mountain's weather deck as we look back just west of downtown Tulsa. As Ed zooms in, it has lifted once again just a little bit in the past 3 seconds, so that has gone back up. We did have a funnel halfway to the ground. Still no tornado yet.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay, I do see a ground circulation now. I see a puff of dust extending up towards that funnel. Okay, and you can get a better perspective on the ground, so we potentially have a tornado on the ground. As we're looking at here on the weather deck, it is going to come just to the northwest of downtown Tulsa. So we have a funnel cloud being reported and potentially a possible tornado on the ground with this. And this is a very intense thunderstorm. We see the winds beginning to increase, some inflowing to the storm, and it is just spinning like a top over here on the Lookout Mountain as we look back to the northwest. Still a very dangerous situation. If you live from downtown and areas to the north, you need to seek shelter immediately. Let's go to live First Alert City Cam more than ever, get a better perspective of the potential funnel. Justin, are you still online with us? Yes, I am.
All right, Justin, from your perspective,
there it is again, Mike. I'm seeing some dirt being kicked up on the ground, extending up towards the cloud base now, towards where the funnel is.
Okay, and
A very weak circulation that's just kind of touching the ground off and on.
It's very difficult to see, at least from our perspective right here, right now.
It is rain wrapped.
Okay.
There's plenty of rain that's come down in the RFD. We have a wet rear flank downdraft here. So from your perspective, it is going to be difficult to see whenever these spin ups occur.
Okay.
But I have a view. I'm looking to the southwest as this tornado, or the circulation appears to be moving to the east-southeast. I still do see indication of weak circulation that may be extending to the surface right now.
Okay. And I'll show you, are we on the weather deck camera right now? So here's what we're looking at. Here's the supercell. Okay, here's the supercell right here. Here's downtown Tulsa. Just give you a point of reference. We have downtown Tulsa. This is just northwest of downtown Tulsa. This is a wall cloud. We have, you see these rain curtains? It's very difficult to see if we have a tornado on the ground because it would be covered by the rain wrap tornado potential. As Justin Teague, he's just northeast of that, looking back to the southwest.
Okay, I have power flashes. Power flashes
we do
under the funnel.
All right, we have a tornado on the ground now. This is a very dangerous, life-threatening situation. We have a tornado on the ground as we speak. Justin Teague now.
Mike, there's no condensation funnel, so to speak. So people may walk out and say, I don't see a tornado, but this circulation is extending to the surface.
Okay. Again, take cover immediately. Do not wait any longer. We have a potential tornado on the ground.
More power flashes.
More power flashes. We have a tornado on the ground right now. Here's Highway 75 extending northwest out of downtown, or north out of downtown. It's about to move right closer to downtown Tulsa. I see OSU Tulsa, looking back to the northwest of OSU Tulsa. This is moving right over northern Tulsa County, and this still spinning at a pretty good clip. Tornado on the ground. As we get a great perspective, this would be a rain-wrapped tornado. Justin, do you still see power flashes from your area?
I haven't seen any more power flashes, but if you pull my stream and look in the very center of my picture, you'll see that very high funnel that just isn't extending to the ground, not the condensation. But I had seen 5 or 6 power flashes looking to my southwest, and I still do see strong rotation. In fact, the storm is becoming more organized. I'm looking at the base here, the clouds moving in. This is a very dangerous situation. We could have a tornado touchdown any moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go to a Supermax on Weather 6 real quick. Aaron has been watching this really closely. Here is the hook echo. Here's Turley, and this is the hook echo that we've been watching as it gets closer to 75. We potentially could have a tornado on the ground. We've seen some power flashes, a very clear sign of a tornado and potentially doing damage already. Go to Weather 6 if we could, and we will show you that the area of rotation is perfect. Here it is, just south of Turley. This is where the tornado would be on the ground. South of Turley, this would be moving towards the east, towards Highway 75. All right, James Hilger is on the line right now. James, what did you see from your perspective, James?
I'm over here on East 86 and 169 in Owasso, looking southwest. It's kind of going back and forth. It starts getting organized, tightening up, and become a little bit more disorganized. Right now, it's starting to tighten back up again just a little bit, starting to see the clear slot, and definitely see the inflow going into it.
All right, tornado warning has been, where you're extended to your area towards Owasso. Owasso, you need to seek shelter immediately. Let's go to HD Max 8000. As this storm has the capability of producing a tornado any second. Aaron, do you have an update?
I'd like to make note that the storm west of Nowata is really intensifying and showing signs of getting very organized. So if you live in Nowata, you need to think about taking tornado precautions. No warnings yet on it, but one might be coming soon.
All right, this is a textbook hook echo, very dangerous situation. Let's get Justin back online, or Jeff back online with us as we track this hook echo moving to the east. This could be a potential tornado going through northern Tulsa County. Very dangerous situation with this supercell hook echo moving right towards Highway 75. So here's Turley, here's Highway 75. It is moving east right over Highway 75. As we look, that's on our right. Is that Broken Arrow Cam? Somebody want to update me? Okay.
That's James' stream, yes.
That's James' stream. Okay, can we switch over to Live First Alert City Cam, please, as we look at this cell moving to the just northwest of downtown Tulsa. There it is, closer view, and of course it is potentially rain-wrapped as we are now on the southern end of it, and looking back to the north where the tornado would be, it would be covered by rainfall. Let's go ahead and let's go to BA Cam, and I'll get this situated here as we take a look at the cell. We have some potential strong winds moving closer in now into Tulsa County. There's the actual lower cloud base. There's the wall cloud. Nothing on the ground. We could see funnels develop off of this wall cloud, which we have. Justin, are you on the line? Okay. Aaron, let's give an update on the rotation with that storm.
Yes, the storm just to the east of Turley now, right near the, it looks like Highway 75 area. So if you're just east of Turley around the Highway 75 area, that's where the strong rotation is currently moving just to the south of Owasso over the next 20 minutes or so. So if you live in Owasso, down towards the Tulsa International Airport, In those areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. We're showing a very strong rotation signature just to the east, southeast of Turley, right over Highway 75 at the current point in time. I'll go ahead and take a look really quickly at the base reflectivities as well, and you'll be able to see right where that is a very strong rotation and a hook echo on the southwest side of that storm. Very strong inflow. We have a nice, finely contoured front edge of that storm. So a lot of inflow moving into this, a lot of flow wrapping around the back of it. We have that very strong area of rotation there on our radar. Other storm of note is the one just west of Nowata, really becoming strong. And we do have a confirmed tornado located over northern Tulsa, moving east at 30 miles per hour right now. That just come in from the Weather Service. Mike?
Confirmed tornado on the ground. Let's go to live First Alert City Cam, and we're going to pan this, Aaron, if you could, to the northeast. What we're being obstructed by is very heavy rainfall. So we have a confirmed. James, are you online with us? We have a confirmed tornado on the ground.
Yes, I am. I can't see the ground level rotation. It's definitely on visual from what I can see at least halfway back and forth. Very strong rotation and tight, cone shaped, and it could possibly be on the ground.
Okay, so from your perspective, so this would be the tornado right here as we are looking. Again, give us your location. You're near Owasso, correct?
Yes,
there's the tornado.
Correct.
All right, so here's the tornado. It's hard to see, I agree, from your perspective, but we do have chasers that are closer by seeing some damage on the ground. So here's the tornado right here, and it is extending to the ground. It's just a little difficult to see from this perspective. So this is a tornado live on the ground as we speak. This is potentially doing some damage northeast of Turley, going right across Highway 75. Let's keep James up. Let's keep James going here. So here it is, HD Max 8000. Here's the hook echo moving out of Turley.
We need Justin's stream up. He actually has that thing on his stream.
Let's get to Justin then. Let's bring that up. What is that on? There it is.
There it is.
Is that Justin?
That's Justin's stream. You can see the vortices.
Yep, there's the tornado. Live tornado. There it is. Justin, are you online with us? Justin.
Yes, got a tornado on the ground.
All right.
Tornado on the ground. 46th Street North, just west of 169.
All right, so here's the tornado. 46th Street, say that again.
46th Street North, it's west of 169.
Okay. 46th Street North, there's the tornado live on television.
Big cone tornado.
All right, you can see that damage being done in this vicinity. It's
big tornado on the ground just west.
And he's reporting. Oh yeah, look at that. Unfortunately, this is a life-threatening situation again. Live tornado. This is from Justin Teague and Jeff Smith, and you can see the little ropes little vortices trying to spin off from this. So this is the tornado live. There's Justin Teague, trained storm spotter. So we had a tornado on the ground right now, northern Tulsa County. Still seeing debris being brought up into that storm. And this is, again, just west of Highway 169 and 46th Street North. We have a tornado on the ground. Seek shelter immediately. If you live in Owasso, get to a storm shelter, lowest level of your home. Lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside at all until we give an all clear. This is a life-threatening situation. Tornado on the ground, as we see here from Justin Teague. Jeff, you're online with us. Do you see? Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the significance of the damage that this is causing, talk a little more about that.
Okay, it looked like it really cranked up for a few minutes. Now it looks like it's still on the ground. It's a multiple vortex, Mike, if you can see it on my stream. It's a multiple vortex. I've seen a lot of dirt in the air. Haven't seen, so to speak, debris, like is it hitting houses or anything, but I've seen a lot of debris, or a lot of dirt, regular debris. Oh, yeah, it's multiple vortex. Check it out on the stream.
Okay,
it looks pretty crazy.
Okay, we've got Justin up. We're going to switch live. Okay, here's the tornado, and there it is, right here in the middle part of your screen. So this is you, Jeff. Again, tell me your location again.
I'm at 46th Street North and 169.
And you're looking to your west.
I'm looking to the west.
Okay, so here's
the tornado is going to cross 169 in just a few minutes.
All right.
It's a multiple vortex tornado, just still developing.
Okay. And far as, that looks like it's doing EF.
Oh, it's fully condensing now. It's fully condensing. The vortices are dancing around the funnel. It looks like, Mike, it's going to go kind of in an unpopulated area.
Good.
It may be shifting to a east-southeast pattern. It may be trying to turn. I'm still watching.
Which would take it closer to Owasso. Again, if you are in Owasso to, let's say, Admiral, just to be safe, you need to seek shelter. This is a very dangerous situation. 169, there's the tornado. Right there, and we can see it live here on our web streaming from our First Alert Storm team member. This is Jeff Smith, live tornado on the ground in northern portions of Tulsa County. This is just west of Owasso. Matter of fact, on the left-hand side of your screen, I'm going to move that over for you so you get a better view of radar. It has moved east of Turley now, moving towards Owasso. If you live in Owasso, this tornado is going to move just to your south, probably about, I would say, well, towards where Jeff's at, anywhere south towards, let's say, 46th Street, towards 76th Street north in Owasso, and then areas to the south all the way towards Admiral. Aaron?
I do have an update on the storm further north. We now have a tornado warning 4 miles west of Nowata. Radar indicated, but there is a tornado warning on that storm. So if you live in Nowata, you need to be taking tornado precautions as well.
So we have a tornado on the ground in a very heavily populated area. We have the potential for another tornado developing now in Nowata as well. So we're going to keep an eye on this as this tornado is getting close to Owasso. Again, if you live in the Owasso area, this is the time that we always tell you about to take cover. This is a very dangerous situation. We have a tornado on the ground producing damage. This is not a drill. This is a real life situation that we need to heed the warning. Do not go outside and look at this, as this could produce some significant damage in a heavily populated area, including Owasso and areas to the south, along 169. If you can imagine, all the way down towards, let's say, 244. In that vicinity, that's where that tornado is heading. Jeff, it looks, I mean, this is a faraway perspective. It looks like it has lifted some. Is that confirmed, or is there actually still some?
No, Mike, there's still ground circulation around this tornado. It looks like it's trying to weaken a little.
Okay.
But there's still ground circulation on it. It is moving some dirt around. It looks like this thing's trying to cycle. It looks more like a funnel, but it's actually a tornado on the ground. I can see dirt spinning in the air. There's a horizontal vortex in there with it too.
Okay.
As it's spinning up, it's just trying to really. It looks like it's strengthening. It looked like it's weakening a minute ago, but now it's strengthening. There's rapid condensation coming up into this. Mike, it looks like it's just trying to shift between straight east and maybe jumping a little north and then a little south. It's kind of squirrely.
Exactly. And let's take HC Max full again. Real quick, if we could, we'll get back to this tornado that's potentially on the ground still. Here's the hook echo, and this could potentially be debris. What we like to say is a debris ball, and that's indicative of radar picking up the actual debris from the ground and lifting it up, and the radar scanning through and seeing that debris and showing that. And now that's moving to the east towards 169, Owasso, 169, KUTL, Verdigris, Limestone. Seek shelter. We have a tornado on the ground heading east in your direction. Aaron?
And that's also showing up on our CC signature. Right. There's actually a hole in the CC, so the radar is picking up that debris in the air.
All right, Jeff, you hear that? We have a debris ball confirmed on air. This is right here. It's coming close to you at 169. Here's Owasso, 76th Street North. The tornado getting very close to you, Jeff. I see
it directly. It's directly off to my west-northwest. Looks like it's going to pass just to my north. Debating whether to hold here or actually bail east a little bit. I think I'm going to bail east, Mike.
That's a good idea because it's trying to jog a little further to the southeast, as we see with these right turners, as it's taking a little more easterly turn. So here's 169. Let me zoom in with this cell. We have a tornado on the ground, and what we say is a debris ball. Again, if we can move the banner just real quick for me. I want to show you this debris ball. So this is where the tornado is. Here's North Mingo Road. Here's Highway 169. Here's Owasso. Here's the metro part of Owasso. And then you head south on 169, Mingo Road, the Tulsa Zoo. And we have this storm producing damage moving east along 56th Street North. Jeff, do you hear that? 56th Street North. So that's just southwest of you.
I would concur. 56th Street North would be actually to my north just a little bit.
You're right. Sorry, I'm turning around.
To my north. I'm actually going east on 46th Street North just a little bit, and I'm going to turn back around and get another vantage point at it on the other side of this hill.
So here's the tornado. Let me zoom this up or push this up just a little further. So here's the tornado heading towards North Mingo Road. Again, this is a life-threatening situation. 56th Street North. Here's Highway 75 east, 56th Street North towards North Mingo Road. We have Highway 169 here. Here's Owasso. Zoomed in so close, we're getting down right to the streets. Zoom out just a little so we can see. Here's Owasso. Here's the tornado on the ground, moving closer now to 169. Do we have any vantage points from our storm team, guys? Any live streams up?
We have some live streams, but they're repositioning currently. Yeah.
So this is just part of the process, folks. As we get a little better position, we're able to determine where this tornado is on the ground. We showed you the tornado on the ground earlier, east of Turley, and now has made its way due east. Jeff, yep, go ahead.
If you go to James Hill or Mr. Hilger's stream there, I have him back up, and he's in a good location.
All right, so James, are you with us? Of course, we have Jeff still on the line. This is James' vantage point. James, can we get James online? Okay, we'll get James on the phone with us here in just a moment. But again, still the possibility of a tornado on the ground. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a tornado on the ground. Here's 169. Here's the tornado. It's getting really close. Yeah, look at that. There's the debris being picked up. Here it is. There's the tornado live on air once again. Here's 169. He's looking back to the southwest from Owasso. From 86th Street North, looking back to the southwest. Here's the tornado on the ground. You can see the debris coming up within that storm as that tornado rotates and continues to pull up the debris into the atmosphere. This is why this is a very dangerous, life-threatening situation. If you live in this path, your home is going to be hit by a tornado. All right, so this is going to continue to move to the east along 56th Street North, between 56th Street North, really just along 56th Street North, heading towards 169. So it's getting very close to a heavily traveled highway, Highway 169. It is going to cross the highway. I hope and pray that people are not traveling on this highway right now. We need to get the warning out. Do not travel north or south on 169 as we have a tornado approaching a very well-traveled highway, as we're well aware. Right now we're at 7:35. Luckily, rush hour is diminishing. Hopefully, people have heeded the warning, listened to the warnings. This is a very dangerous situation as we track the tornado on the ground. We see the rain curtains. Do we have James online just yet? Okay, let's get Jeff or James or someone, guys, as we track this tornado moving closer to 169. And give me some direction, please, as we, all right, Jeff. Do we still have a tornado on the ground?
I cannot confirm, Mike. I'm still headed east. I couldn't get a good vantage point. I'm looking back in the mirror, and I cannot confirm or deny whether it is on the ground still. I'm a little far away from it. I'm almost to Highway 266 and 46th Street North, Court Road. I'm going to try to get a good hilltop view and watch it come back at me.
Okay, and we're working to get James online with us as well. This is what, unfortunately, you don't want to see moving through a heavily populated area. HD Max 8000 showing the debris ball, the area, the tornado getting right over, or moving right over 169, trying to take a little more of a southeasterly turn. Here's Valley Park. Grew up playing soccer here. Here's the southwest 76th Street North. This is a very life-threatening situation. This is producing a tornado on the ground. James, can you confirm that from your perspective?
At this time, no, sir, I can. There was debris in the air about 3 or 4 minutes ago. I moved south just a little bit. I'm near East 676 now. We just got caught in the inflow jet, and we're getting about 50 to 60 mile-an-hour inflow winds to it, and I'm starting to lose all visual now.
Okay.
It's definitely hit structures.
Okay. So if you were to estimate right now, are we talking EF1, EF2, EF3? What are you looking at here?
Just what I've seen in debris, probably EF0 to EF1.
Okay. Okay. So we're still...
The inflow winds are still picking up. It's getting 65 to 70 at times.
Okay. That's enough to do damage to homes. Again, this is moving. Tell me your location one more time. You're at 86 or 76th Street North?
East 76
okay.
and 169, sir.
Okay, so you're right here looking due south. There's the debris ball indicated on radar right over Highway 169 right now. This is a tornado-warned storm moving to the east. Let's go and check in with meteorologist Aaron Reeves, who has an update on our Supermax. Aaron?
Yes, the signature is showing up very clearly on our high-definition radar. If we go over to Weather 6 real quick, we can really see those signatures very clearly. You see that debris ball located just to the south of the Owasso area, currently crossing Highway 169. And over on the velocities, you can see that very, very strong tornado vortex signature also just across Highway 169. So it does look like the tornado has made its way across Highway 169 at this point in time, currently moving to the east. So if you live in these areas, you definitely need to be in your tornado shelter right now as we speak. Another interesting view of it is on the what we call the correlation coefficient. You can actually see there's a little hole, and we have all this stuff. This is just matter in the air, and where you get a blue hole or a dark hole, that's where you can actually have that debris being picked up by that view of the radar. So all of our tools that we use to detect tornado are indicating that that tornado is happening.
The tornado warning in southern Nowata County. Give us an update on this storm, Aaron.
Yes, that storm's still very strong. Not quite as strong as the storm to the south, but if you live in the Nowata area, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions as well. That's still radar indicated, and that warning is still in effect for the Nowata area as that storm continues to move off to the east and northeast at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. We'll take a look at the rotation. Still seeing some fairly weak rotation in that area, but there is a definite rotation signature currently located over the Nowata area. That would be right on top of Nowata currently. So if you live in Nowata or points just off to the northeast, you need to make sure you're taking your tornado precautions, as there's a look at that storm currently over the Nowata area, and you can see the rotation just right on top of it.
Okay, Aaron, real quick, let's go back to that storm down south as we're getting resituated here. We have still James on the line. James, are you still watching this storm?
I am, but I'm actually right in the middle, just on the north side of it. I'm wrapped in the rain. I'm going to go on the other side and get another view of it from the south end.
All right, so here's what we've got going on here. 2 tornado warnings in place right now. 2 tornado warnings, one for Nowata County, one for northeastern Tulsa County. We showed you that tornado live on air from James, from Justin Teague. We had numerous perspectives on it. We're going to get Jeff Smith, who's readjusting. What's happening is this storm, let's go ahead and zoom in a little closer, get in with this storm again. We have the debris ball that we saw with this storm now moving east of Highway 169, as Aaron mentioned. So here's the potential tornado moving southeast of Owasso. This is going to move close to Verdigris and Limestone and along 266. The tornado probably more likely will travel right along or just north of 266, heading towards Verdigris, heading eventually towards I-44, towards the Claremore area. So Claremore, you're under a tornado warning now, as this storm has had the history of producing a tornado, and it's going to be moving towards the Claremore area. Claremore, now is the time, is we're giving you plenty of warning that a potential tornado is heading in your direction. You need to seek shelter. Go to a storm shelter or lowest level of your home. Lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside. Always wear shoes, too, when you take cover, because if there is damage, you need to be able to get out and help other folks out. If you are driving, seek shelter immediately. You know, I would say abandon the vehicle. Abandon the vehicle at all costs. The worst case scenario is that you get stuck. If you drive out a path by moving at right angles at a tornado, moving east basically with this storm, I don't even suggest. Get to a low level ravine and seek shelter. And of course, this is a very dangerous situation. All right, Jeff, we've been watching this. We saw the tornado with you live just a few minutes ago. What's the current situation right now as this moves east of Owasso?
Mike, I'm actually going out towards Verdigris, which is Highway 266 and 66. Okay. I've been past the port. I do see a needle tornado on the ground behind me, directly behind me. I'm headed east. I'm about 1.5 miles away from the 266 junction. Looks like it's taking a southerly turn to me, unless my directions are off just a little bit, but it looks like it's back directly to my west, Mike.
Okay. And you're on 266, correct? How far northwest of Verdigris?
I am almost to Verdigris, about 2 miles from Verdigris.
Yeah, it's just to your northwest. And so I'm going to give a latest storm track on this. We'll be in Claremore at 8:11. So we're still 20, 25 minutes away from this tornado that's still on the ground, confirmed by our storm spotters. Make sure the Weather Service is aware of that. As this continues to move east, a tornado on the ground will be in Claremore at 8:11. This has shown no signs of weakening whatsoever. This again is a life-threatening situation. We've had tornado damage reported across northern Tulsa County along 56th Street North. Now it has moved east of Highway 169 along 266. Aaron, go.
A streaming video, we actually have a little bit of the damage of a sign there.
Okay, and obviously that is not significant damage, and thank goodness for that. If which source is it, Weather 7 or Weather 6?
That's on Weather 7.
Okay, if we could take Weather 7 full screen, if we could, please. Okay, so there it is, just off 169. And now he's moving, of course. So
some tree damage.
Okay, and is that James? There's the damage. You can see, if you could put me on screen, I'll show you what we're looking at. Here's the tornado where it passed on 169. You can see as it moved right over here. Not a very wide tornado because the damage as he heads further to the south is rather non-existent. So it was just as he's turning around here. I know he's getting better situated, but we did see tornado damage on Highway 169. There's emergency crews heading towards that situation. So this is, seeing those emergency crews reminds me of the KUTL tornado back in the early 90s. This is a remake of this once again as we track a tornado on the ground. Back to HD Max 8000. Right now, seeing the tornado east of Owasso, south of Limestone, north of Verdigris. Tornado on the ground, moving to the northeast. Kid growing up here, going to Claremore, going to the Hammett House. Guys, you need to take cover. This is a dangerous situation, life-threatening situation. I know I've said that a lot tonight, unfortunately, as we have a tornado on the ground east of 169, south, now moving east of Owasso. Here's Verdigris looking to the northwest. This is heading right towards Claremore, and the current trajectory would take it into Claremore or potentially just stay south along 66. So, I mentioned the KUTL tornado. That's going to stay north of you, KUTL, but Verdigris, you are in the path. Old Route 66, heading towards the northeast, towards Claremore. You need to seek shelter. Aaron, an update?
Yeah. Steve says he can still see the tornado now. He is currently streaming. I'm working on getting that up. Also, the rotation is still very, very intense on the velocities there on Weather 6. You can see the west of Verdigris right now. Just to the west of Verdigris, between Owasso and Verdigris, we have that very strong rotation signature, and we still have that very strong hook echo as well. So that's what we're seeing. You definitely need to be taking your cover if you live in Verdigris and Claremore.
Okay, we are getting reports of power outages. Amy, do we know how many? Up to?
Just under 10,000 in Tulsa County.
All right, up to close to 10,000 people without power in northern Tulsa County, and that number probably will increase as we see this tornado on the ground continue to move east. Aaron, what's going on?
Hold on, I'm pulling up Justin Teague's stream currently. He is back en route of that. Also,
Mason, do we have Justin online? Mason? Justin, go ahead. What do you have?
Hey, Mike. I've come across some damage, but first I wanted to let you know I had to let you guys go because I came across a young family who had been hit in their vehicle, and I had to render aid and call for EMS. So I'm back on the road. I am at 56th Street North on let's see, where am I? On North Mingo. I'm on Mingo, pointed south on 56th Street North, and the tornado crossed here.
Yep.
We have power lines across the road. I see a building over here, a metal building that has some damage. Do you have my stream?
Yep, we're watching right now, and that's what we're talking about, 56th Street North. That's right where the tornado went down, and you're turning. Is this a home or a building?
I'm in front of a business.
Okay.
I'm in front of a business. All that I see here is businesses. I'll tell you what. I'm going to get back on the road and cut to the east.
Okay.
But
as far as the damage is concerned in this area, what type of tornado damage are we looking at? I mean, brief perspective right now, or at least the viewpoint from my area, is that it's a EF0, EF1. What do you think?
That's what I'm seeing right now, but I'm not sure how wide the damage path is.
Understandable.
On the outside of it right now, it's hard to say.
Understandable.
You know what? I picked up something in my vehicle.
All right, we have some good news. Let's go to Jeff Smith, Justin Teague, helping people out, rendering first aid. That's what our storm chasers do as well. Now, what they do is not only tell you that storms are coming your way, but also they're the first responders. They're the guys there that after the tornado hits, they're helping out, and they do that. And Justin Teague helping a family that got hit in a car by the tornado, rendering them first aid, calling 911, getting emergency vehicles to them. So we will check up on that. Jeff, where are you at right now? And you said the tornado has lifted?
Tornado looks like it's lifted to me, Mike. I am at 266 and 66 intersection, just north of Verdigris. Still see the wall cloud, still see, oh, you know what, there is some ground rotation there. It still is on the ground. It's not condensed like it was, but I do see some ground rotation, and continues to look like a multiple vortex tornado just coming into the west side of Verdigris. My guesstimate of the distance from Verdigris proper is going to be 3 to 4 miles to the west.
Okay, and we're looking at Justin's stream, who's looking back to the east. Are you streaming right now, Jeff?
I am streaming, yes, sir.
Okay, and Aaron, if you don't mind flipping over to Jeff Smith's stream, and what we'll do is we'll go to HD Max 8000. Here's the storm, still tightly, pretty tight, compact rotation with this as it moves well east of 169 now. Here's Jeff, here's Verdigris, here's Highway, Old Route 66, here's KUTL on the bottom part of your screen. Jeff, it looks like it's starting to wind back up again. I mean, that's a perfect hook echo that we're seeing with that.
Yeah, Mike, there's still ground rotation, there's still debris on the ground. In contact with the ground. There still is a tornado. It does not look like it physically, but there is a tornado on the ground still, just off to the west of Verdigris. I don't know if you can see it on my stream. I'm behind a sheriff's vehicle.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell, but it's coming right at Verdigris proper.
And I see the police cars passing your way.
Yeah.
Okay, and more than likely they're watching it, and we're going to need to get people off of Old Route 66 between Verdigris and Claremore.
Yeah, people in Verdigris need to be in their shelters right now.
Right. If you have family or friends that are traveling from Claremore to Verdigris, you need to call them and tell them to turn around, seek shelter. A tornado is heading towards Highway Old Route 66 between Verdigris and Claremore. Tornado is just to the west on 266, moving east towards Old Route 66. This is a life-threatening situation as we've had tornado damage reported in northern Tulsa County. Our news crews are covering that right now. We're having them dispersed all across eastern Oklahoma as we track severe weather. Still, a tornado warning remains in effect northwest of Verdigris, moving towards between Verdigris and Claremore towards Route 66. Yeah, I'm there. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nope.
My phone cut out. We still have ground circulation on this storm. Lightning has actually ramped up in the storm in the past minute. Very dangerous looking rotating wall cloud with funnel. As of this point in time, I do not see ground rotation.
Okay, let's take his full screen if we don't mind. Thank you very much, guys. And our production team has been doing an amazing job. Kurt, Rich, who else is up there? Remind me, we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Garland, guys, you've been doing awesome getting all these things going for us. I appreciate Doug Bonebreak and getting that all going. But this is, okay, so are you on I-44 now?
I am on, still 266 and Highway 66.
There
I'm
you
fixing
go.
to reposition onto 66 and go south and get out of this thing's way. It really looks like it's picked up in the velocity. I do see a bigger bowl funnel trying to come down now.
And we're looking at your camera. I mean, I see emergency crews on the road here, but
Yes.
Where's the tornado in this perspective?
The tornado is just off to my west, about 2 miles. It has actually taken a northerly turn. Okay, it's trying to condense to the ground now.
Okay, and
Directly to my west.
can you pan the camera over there just a little bit?
Let me take a look. It should be directly in front of.
Okay.
Directly in front of the camera.
All right, just confirming, because from my perspective, you have a lot of backlight against that. So here's the wall cloud, and here's the funnel, and there could potentially be a tornado on the ground. So these emergency crews, are they just keeping people from traveling?
Yeah, they're trying to keep an eye on things.
There it is.
I'm trying to drop the exposure down a little bit so you can see this a little better, Mike.
So here we go again. Earlier we were watching your stream. We saw the tornado right in front of our eyes. I appreciate you giving us a good perspective or a good idea of where you're at right now. Again, give us a location and where you're looking so that viewers at home, they get a clear view of what we're looking at here.
Okay, I am at Highway 66 and 266, just in Verdigris. And storm is actually to my west about 2 miles. So this is going to go just to the north of verdigris. I see Jeff Petrowski's right here watching it.
Yep.
I got to go around him. Hang on a minute. Okay. All right. Let me get pulled off here.
There's the funnel.
Okay. Yeah, see the funnel. I've actually turned around now, so it's.
Well, there's a delay.
there's quite a bit of delay in the air, in the internet, I understand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna reposition back about a half of a mile so I can try to get
let's
back
go back
around
to
and show it to you, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know when you get that, and we'll go back to you in just a second.
Yeah.
Here's the hook echo. This thing has not weakened whatsoever. You think back to last year when we had the Sand Springs tornado. That weakened pretty considerably as it moved into Tulsa. And we had storms earlier that day, had storms earlier today, and this thing has not weakened whatsoever. Still well-defined hook echo, potential for tornado on the ground northwest of verdigris, heading towards I-44 and Old Route 66, and moving northeast towards Claremore, east-northeasterly track. Jeff, have you turned back around yet?
Not yet. Give me a few minutes.
Yep.
I have a stoplight. I'm stopped
cut
here.
Cut me off when you do. And the potential still for debris to be in the air, or at least a lot of moisture wrapping around on the ground with this storm. So this is southeast of Limestone. Here's Highway 20 moving into Claremore. Here's Route 66, I-44. If you know anybody on I-44 between verdigris and Claremore, on top of being on Route 66, we said Route 66 because that'll be the first impact with this tornado, and then I-44 just a few minutes later. So I-44, any traveling out of northeast out of Tulsa, this is a very dangerous situation as we have a tornado potentially on the ground. Aaron Reeves has been watching this as well. Aaron?
Looks like it's just
So rotation is still very intense just to the northwest of verdigris. We still also have that very strong hook echo. And very dark, ominous clouds there on that view there on Weather 7. A very, very intense storm, so it continues to move off to the east. We also have that tornado warning reissued on the storm up to the northeast of Nowata. So if you live in Centralia and points to the southwest from there, you also need to be taking your cover. We have the very good view back up on Weather 7 now, that funnel.
Yep, certainly do. So real quick, Centralia, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation heading towards your direction. You could see a tornado develop at any second as we track. There it is, right here in the western part of that warning. Still some low-level rotation with that. So let's go back to let's go to Weather 7. Let's watch this funnel again. Another funnel now developing. I know we're throwing a lot of curveballs, you guys. I appreciate the production again. Here's the funnel cloud right here on this. What is going to be a little difficult to see, and what we've seen is these little spin-ups occur, and what we're waiting for, and we hope that this doesn't occur, is that debris doesn't come strewing back up into the sky once again. So this is the funnel cloud. Looks like it weakened just a little bit. Of course, Jeff, I'm in a little bit of a delay and watch. Go ahead.
If you'd like to make a...
Unfortunately, we have lost him again. And you can see there's the funnel. They're now trying to redevelop again. You can see that spinning. And what we'll watch for is this to connect and reach the ground. So this is continuing to develop. It's cycling stronger and weaker. It keeps going through that process of gaining strength and then weakening once again. So there it is right there. And that is the funnel cloud. So here we have the wall cloud. Here's the funnel cloud. And we don't have Jeff on. And it's trying to extend a little closer to the ground. And it might be very difficult to see any debris that might actually be on the ground. This is a really incredible situation with that tornado. Now it's getting a little off camera. And Jeff, there you go. You're pan over just a little bit for me. Do we see any debris on the ground? I know this is a funnel, but have we seen it connect again?
I have not seen it connect again, Mike. It looks like it is just a funnel. It looks like it's trying to come down every now and then, but I have not seen any debris in the air the past few minutes.
I mean, that storm is just looking, unfortunately, I don't say this in a positive term. It's looking really solid. It's looking good. That's just a pretty meaty storm there, Jeff. And again, we've had the history of tornado damage.
Looking at, it's nice. It's a big funnel. It's fixing to go right over just to my north. I don't know if you guys can see it on stream. It's just spinning. It's not on the ground.
Right.
Not on the ground. Do not see any ground debris.
It's getting close, though, Jeff.
It's getting close. It's trying to make it down. It's going to go between Verdigris and Claremore, probably down at the neighbor's mill that I used to live out here, was raised out here. It's going to go right down Flint Road, King Road area here in Verdigris. It's going to go right through there, and that's a pretty heavily populated area, so I sure hope those people are in their shelters right now, Mike. It's directly overhead. I'm going to let it pass me to the north.
Okay.
I'm at the Quick Trip on Highway 66 in Verdigris.
Okay.
It is just to my north, still spinning. It's getting dark. It's getting a little darker and harder to see visibly, but I still see it spinning. Cloud motion is really intense here. Boy, this is a dangerous storm, very dangerous storm. I see folks driving towards Claremore. I sure hope they stop in time. That's crazy. They should be the law enforcement should have these folks stopped right here where I'm at.
Okay, and they're still traveling.
They're still traveling north. I see travelers going both ways, actually. The funnel is just about to approach Highway 66 this time. Wind is picking up. I'm out of danger. I'm just to the south of this funnel, so I'm out of danger.
Can you pan your camera? Are you able to do that?
I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try, Mike.
Okay.
Let me reposition the truck real quick. It is crossing
Okay,
Highway
I'm
66.
gonna let you reposition just a second, Jeff. We're gonna go back to HD Max 8000. I want to show you, this is the hook echo, and this is where we could see the tornado potentially redevelop again right along Highway 66. Here's Claremore. This would be just to the southwest. He said it's crossing old Route 66 right now, about to cross Interstate 44, and then make its way to the east over the next 15 to 20 minutes. So, Jeff, we're still seeing the funnel with that, correct? Or is that dissipated?
I just repositioned the truck, so let me jump out and look. The wind about took my door off as I opened the door. I see no visible funnel at this time, Mike. It looks like it's, let me look at this a minute. Okay, I do see a visible funnel. It's a larger funnel now. It's fixing to cross Highway 66 at this point in time. Oh, Lord, I see travelers. I see cars going both ways. About a mile.
Okay.
Road or Flint Road. I do not see debris in the air. I do not see it on the ground, though.
This is just southwest of Claremore. Let's go ahead and take your screen full again. And again, we have a lot of emergency vehicles, the first responders doing a tremendous job trying to help keep people safe. As it's been a while since we've had, numerous tornadoes warnings and tornadoes on the ground moving through the metro region. And so they're doing their part in helping keep people safe. So this is traveling off.
Power flash, just saw a power flash to my north. Oh, I saw lightning illumination, and there is a tornado on the ground.
Right. Aaron,
I see a tornado on the ground, straight
Aaron,
north
report that
of my
to the
location.
National Weather Service. Tornado on the ground. Again, give us your location and where you're looking.
I am at Highway 66 and Gordon Road, which is the Quick Trip.
Okay.
The tornado is to my north, approximately 2 miles, which would put it at about Gordon Road and Highway 66.
Okay.
I see another power flash just now, Mike.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get over a little closer towards this thing.
All right.
Still saying out of harm's way here.
Exactly. You can see HD Max on the other side. Let's flip screens real quick, guys. Let's put, there we go. Here's the tornado warning. Here's the tornado now crossing over Highway 66, right, Jeff? And so
yeah, it'll be crossing over Highway 66 any second. It looks more like a slanted funnel back to the west.
Okay.
A slanted tornado, so it's probably either right on top of 66 right now or just to the west of Highway 66 at this time.
All right, and it's going to intersect eventually to the 412, Highway 412, or I should say Highway 20. Let me get my bearings straight here again. Let's get that going again. So we have still a funnel cloud on the, or at least halfway to the ground. Now, actually, a tornado now on the ground. Jeff, is that confirmed?
Yes, there is this confirmed tornado. Confirmed power flashes to the north, towards Claremore area, towards the Flint Road area in 66. Haven't seen any in just a second. I had to turn around to get out of the parking lot. Okay, now I'm headed back to the north. Looking the lightning flashes, and I thought I saw a tornado. Let me Let's wait for the. Oh yeah, tornado on the ground. On the ground is east of Highway 66. East of Highway 66 at this time.
And how far, or I should say, how far away from Claremore? Would you say about 4 or 5 miles southwest of Claremore?
No, not that far. About 2 miles to the south of Claremore. This may actually be a little closer to Claremore, Mike. Now, it looks like this storm is taking kind of a northerly jog.
Okay.
That may be in the Walmart vicinity at this time.
Okay.
Maybe to the east of there.
Okay. So just from Main Street, Claremore, you need, or if you live in Claremore, you need to already take your tornado precautions. Need to stop watching if you are, and seek shelter. Get into the middle part of the house. Stay away from outside walls or windows. This is a potential life-threatening situation as we track a tornado on the ground right now. Highway 66. So the tornado, what Jeff is telling me, would be right in this vicinity right here. Aaron, can you confirm that by looking at our Supermax?
Yeah, let me pull that back up real quick. And
Mike, I've got to call my daughter real quick. I'll call you right back.
Yep,
Okay.
you got to take care of your family.
Okay.
yes, that signature is just to the south of Claremore. Now it looks like it's closer to Interstate 44 on the radar. Yeah, it's kind of in between 66 and 44 there on Supermax.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there. That's the tornado now coming across I-44. Tornado potentially, or a tornado on the ground moving towards I-44. Tornado on the ground. Again, on Interstate 44, just southeast of Claremore. The Claremore exit is about to be hit by a tornado that is on the ground. We've had damage reports all the way back into the northern parts of Tulsa County. This is our Supermax. We're able to see the tornado by looking at, oh wow, look at this. This is the tornado right here. You can see it. And this is a very potent storm, a wrapped up storm, and now it's going to get a little closer to the actual the actual radar site, and you can see to the right of me that is Jeff Smith's stream. Jeff is from the Owasso and Claremore areas, so he's got family in there in that vicinity. Understand, he's got to take care of them, keep them updated. But there is the tornado on the ground right now. Here's I-44. Tornado on the ground as we speak. That's moving to the north, or to the east-northeast towards Justice. If you live in Justice, you need to seek shelter now. A tornado is moving in your direction. This is a life-threatening situation. Again, this has been ongoing now for over a part, hour and a half to 2 hours. And again, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground, I-44, just southeast of Claremore. That's going to move right along Interstate 44. And do we have a stream back again available, Aaron?
Yes, he is en route, it looks like, on Highway 66 there.
Yeah, let's take that full if we could, because what we're doing is we're looking the northeast, but let's take that full. So here is where the tornado would be as he travels northeast along Old Route 66. You can see emergency crews, hopefully trying to block people from traveling northeast. And let's see, it looks like there might be some power outages there. Let's see as he zooms in or pans to the right. As he makes a track to the northeast, we continue to see the potential for tornado on the ground. I mean, this thing's got an incredible signature on radar, and again, not something to take lightly, as we have already seen damage being reported all evening long. Back to HD Max 8000. Here it is southeast of Claremore, the area of rotation heading right towards I-44. And Mason, if we could get one of them online again, get latest information, please, as we track this tornado-warned storm moving towards the east towards Justice. You need to seek shelter right now in Justice as that tornado potential is heading your direction. A larger view as we track storms all across northeast Oklahoma. We unfortunately have had to take some priority with the tornadoes on the ground, but we still have tornado warnings in effect for eastern portions of Nowata County, moving into western portions of Craig County. There's the tornado, or I should say eastern portion of Nowata County, western portions of Craig County. Tornado warning in effect. This storm looks a little loosely organized. Still tornado warning on it. So here's Highway 60, and here's the Highway 10. Here's Welch. This is moving towards the Welch area. And if you live in Welch, you need to seek shelter. You don't not under a tornado warning right now, but if this was to continue moving northeast, it would impact your area within the next half hour. Aaron, let's get an update on this storm in Nowata and Craig County and give us an update on the velocities with that, please.
Yes, that storm's still very intense. You see just to the west of Centralia, we have that hook echo feature. And as we look at velocities, we are also seeing the velocities where you see the pinks and the blues tight together. That is where we're seeing that rotation signature. Not super impressive, but it is a definite low-level rotation signature there just to the west of Centralia. That is moving to the east, northeast at 30 miles per hour. There's also quarter-size hail with this storm. So if you live in the Centralia area, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions. Closer look at the storm back to the south and southwest, and we're still seeing the tornado signature there just to the west of Justice. We have that hook echo, and we also have the rotation feature showing up on our velocities mode as well, just to the west of Justice, right along and just to the south of Interstate 44, and that's probably tracking just right up along the Interstate 44 corridor right now.
All right. As we track storms moving, all across northeast Oklahoma, what are our current chasers saying, Aaron?
They are getting vantage points. Cliff did see that storm, and he said he got a tornado on that as well, so he saw the tornado. Nacome is trying to get a vantage point on that storm near Centralia, so he's currently working on that. I also have some pictures from the storm a bit earlier that Justin Teague's in, and here's a picture of a tree falling across the road there, and these emergency workers tending to that as well. And we also have a picture of a truck that was heavily damaged in that storm as well. So this storm is definitely packing a punch, and you will want to make sure that you are taking precautions as that moves off to the east. So here's a look at the storm just to the east of Claremore. Just right now entering the Justice area, you can see the rotation, and I'll go ahead and take a 3D view of this and see what we're seeing with that as well. Here's a look at the 3D view of it. And we still have a strong storm with a nice inflow into it, and you see that's undercutting the velocity, or not the velocities, the reflectivities there just to the southeast of Claremore. So a very intense storm, likely some hail with this as well, up to the size of, let me pull that up and I can get a hail size. But if you live in the Tiowa area and just off to the north of Tiowa, you definitely want to be taking your tornado precautions, as we have a damaging tornado and golf ball size hail. We have a confirmed tornado located near Claremore moving east at 25 miles per hour. And we have that update there. Weather spotters continuing to confirm that tornado with flying debris as well. So you'll definitely want to be tracking that storm as it moves to the east at 25 miles per hour. So I'll take a closer look at that right now, right over Justice. If you're in Justice, you need to be taking your tornado precautions as that storm is right on top of you, moving east-northeast at 25 miles per hour. So if you're on Highway 20, you'll definitely want to be pulling off the road and taking tornado precautions. If you're listening to us on the radio, you'll definitely want to be taking those precautions as well on Highway 20. Get off of Highway 20, that's now south of I-44, right in the Justice area, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Also north of I-44, we have the golf ball size hill.
All right, Jeff, give us your location, what you see right now.
I'm currently heading north of Inola right now. I'm looking to my north, and I just seen power flashes.
Okay, and a large, give me your location one more time. Who do we have over there as well?
Cliff.
Okay.
I'm north of Inola right now, heading toward Claremore.
Okay, you're north of Inola. We have a well-wrapped, well-defined. You're seeing a tornado on the ground. Is it a pretty significant tornado, or we've seen these rope tornadoes develop, but they haven't been pretty strong. Have you seen it intensify recently?
I haven't seen it intensify right now, but I do have looks like condensation almost to the ground. It's behind a hill right now.
Okay. Jeff, stay online. Aaron, if you don't mind sticking with Jeff over here too.
Okay.
This is a yeah. Cliff,
hang on a second.
All right, Cliff Castile is on the line with us. Cliff, where is your current location? What do you see right now?
I am in downtown Claremore, and just a couple of moments ago, I was just south of Claremore, out near Country Club and King Road. Observed the funnel cloud and the storm moving into Claremore. We tried to get a little bit closer, and then felt like maybe we needed to get out of the way, so we made a turnaround and come back. That gave the storm time to come officially into Claremore. As we're coming up Lynn Riggs Boulevard, looking to the east, I'm headed toward Claremore. On the right, The funnel seemed to go all the way to the ground, and it wasn't skinny like in the developmental stages, like with a point on it. It was solid, and it appeared to be on the ground for a good couple of minutes at least.
Okay.
And then we lost it in the rain. So anyone to the east side of Claremore, northeast, that storm was producing a tornado just a couple of minutes ago.
Okay, thank you so much. That's Cliff Castile, fast unit number 15, as he tracks this tornado still tightly around.
Station.
Yes, Jeff? Jeff, go ahead.
I've got more power flashes to my north.
Okay, and you're still northwest, or north, that would be north of Inola, correct?
Yes.
All right, Aaron, if you could talk over to here to Jeff and get a report from him, please.
All right, Jeff, tell us where you are, what you're seeing, and where you're headed.
I'm still heading north on north of Inola, and I'm still seeing power flashes. Well-defined wall cloud, and that's about all I can tell right now.
All right, thank you. On the power flashes, are they fairly?
Another power flash.
All right, let's get a different perspective. Let's go to Jeff Smith, who's been tracking this tornado as well. Jeff Robbins, now Jeff Smith. Jeff, you have a tornado on the ground?
Mike, there's a tornado on the ground. I can't confirm the exact location. I'm at 4180 Road, Froman Road, on the east side of Claremore, trying to get back to the highway, Highway 20. So I would assume this tornado is at Highway 20, about 5 to 6 miles to the east of Claremore. I don't know an exact location. I did confirm power flashes about 30 seconds ago, though. Mike, are you there?
Are you still streaming?
I'm still streaming. I don't know what it looks like. I'm by myself. I can't confirm the visual on the stream. It may not look very good right now.
As far as visibility is concerned, how are we looking, as far as light? I'm stuck in the studio, so I haven't been able to look outside recently, but are we losing a lot of sunlight?
Yeah, it's almost dark at my location where I'm at.
Okay. So,
I see a funnel. Okay, I can see now. I can see a funnel on the ground to my north. I'm at, I would say, 4180 and Highway 20, about a mile to the south of that location. I do see funnels. Oh, it's very dark. It's hard to tell. I do see funnels. I do not see a tornado on the ground at this point in time.
So you're on Highway 20, correct?
I'm about a mile. Let me correct you. I'm about a mile to the south of Highway 20 on 4180 Road.
Okay.
And I'm looking off to my northeast, the east-northeast, and that's the direction that I saw the power flashes a few minutes ago.
Okay. How far east of Claremore are you?
4 to 5 miles to the east of Claremore would be the storm. I'm about 3 to 4 miles east of Claremore myself, current position.
Okay. And again, this is, Jeff, this still looks tightly wound up. The potential for debris being indicated on our radar here, moving right now along Highway 20. We have Jeff Robbins, who is also watching this, and give it a better perspective of what he's looking at here. He's north of Inola, looking back to the north towards that storm. As he continues to push to the northeast, we continue to see that tornado on the ground. At least that's what he's reporting from his perspective. And but it's hard to see. Nighttime tornadoes are often the most dangerous because they're difficult to see, because we obviously don't have light. So we're dependent on lightning strikes or power flashes to give us some backlight. So here's the latest storm track, taking it towards tip at 8:52, straying at 8:59, moving to the east about 25 miles per hour. Here's tip, here's straying, here's Highway 20, here's Salina. Let me get this moved out a little further. Jeff, are you still watching this? Have you seen any recent power flashes?
I have not seen any recent power flashes, Mike. I'm still trying to get back up to Highway 20 around the 4180 Road area. Then I'm going to head east on 20 to check everything, see what it all looks like.
So here's what I need. Folks in Pryor, if you live in Pryor, if you live in Adair, you need to seek shelter now. All right, let me move this a little back to the west. Get that off here. Aaron, if you could, well, I'm going to be able to do this. Stand by. All right, so if you live in Salina, if you live in Pryor Creek, Adair, you need to seek shelter. A tornado to your west is heading your direction towards Highway 69. And this is another situation. Again, if you have friends traveling from Adair to Pryor on 69, you need to tell them to get out off the road, seek shelter, find an alternate route to get to the, stay calm if you're at home. Obviously, get to the storm shelter, lowest level of your home, lie flat, protecting your head. Do not go outside until the tornado warning has cleared your area. And we've had the history of a tornado with this storm throughout the evening. So this, again, still producing a tornado. This is now a very long track supercell, as this has just come into unfortunate favorable conditions for continuous tornado development. As we see this move away from Claremore now. Here's Highway 20, here's Highway 69. My friends in Pryor, you need to take cover. Adair, you need to take cover as well. Been to these towns many times, and eventually this is going to move northeast towards the Grand Lake area. So this is a long track supercell that still has very well-defined low-level rotation with it and the potential for a tornado on the ground. Jeff, so far you've seen right now with this, lightning helping you out at all? Have you seen any power flashes to give you any perspective of the possibility?
I have not in the past couple of minutes, Mike. Still trying to track this thing, how to get back up to the highway. Excuse the radios. I have amateur radio that I'm also reporting to, trying to get the word out. So
yeah, and you have to understand, I'm going to explain to the viewers at home, what they're doing. Not only are they giving us information to help spread out, but what they're also doing is relaying information in the National Weather Service, which then relays it all to all stations. So the job for us is to keep you safe. That's a number one priority for us. It doesn't matter who gives you the information. We want you to stay safe as we track this supercell moving to the northeast along Interstate 44, heading towards Highway 69. Adair down to Pryor. You need to take tornado precautions as a tornado warning has been issued for your area. Here's Spavinaw, here's Salina, Pryor, in the Pryor Creek area, under a tornado warning right now as this continues to move east towards Highway 20. As far as the scene around you, Jeff, I mean, what is it looking like from your perspective?
Mike, I am almost up on Highway 20 and 4180, and I'm right across the damage path here. I do see trees. Oh, there's a house. There's a house that got, oh my gosh, it's almost totally destroyed, Mike. Let me get my location correct.
Okay.
This
we have
is
a
on
house.
the hill, 4180 and 4180 just off of Highway 20. So this thing must have crossed or just paralleled Highway 20 on the east side of Claremore, Mike.
Yep.
I'm gonna go check on folks.
Thank you.
Up here. Let me go check on everybody, make sure they're cool.
So
we
have a house damaged by the tornado.
A destroyed house.
A destroyed house.
Yes.
A house destroyed. Reporting live from our First Alert Storm Team member Jeff Smith. And Jeff's been doing this numerous years. He's had the tornado earlier when it was in northern Tulsa County. Now
I'll get back with you. I'm going to go check on these folks here.
Okay, thank you. And we're going to follow along here, and let's move away from that as we get paramedics and folks helping out the people in need. We'll look at the damage later on, but this is a life-threatening situation, as we mentioned. We want to track now this tornado as it continues to move to the east towards Highway 69. Here's the problem now. It's nighttime. It's dark. Okay, so it's very difficult for our storm team members to be able to see this tornado. So we're really having to rely on radar, and that's going to continue to move northeast. We have meteorologists on staff. Our storm team is all out watching this as this continues to evolve. So we have a home destroyed east of Claremore on Highway 20, just off of Highway 20, and our storm chaser Jeff Smith going out there to help them out. And in the coming days, we're going to see significant damage reports across the area. This has been a long-lived supercell, long-track supercell, where we've seen tornado damage for quite some time. And it's been a while since eastern Oklahoma has had to deal with something like this. So this is moving to the northeast. Again, I know I've said it a lot, but I have to emphasize again, a life-threatening situation. That's why I can't stress enough. You have to take cover. And I know we've been saying it a lot, but this is the real deal, folks. As this moves closer to Highway 69, north and south from Adair to Pryor. This is the supercell with the capability at least producing a tornado still along let's see, I-44, just east of I-44, and we're at 821, and it seems to be slowing down some over the past couple of scans. Let's check in with meteorologist Aaron Reeves. Have we seen a little bit of a slowdown with this storm?
We have. It is currently moving to the northeast at 20 miles per hour. 5 minutes ago, the last update from the Weather Service on the storm, they were still confirming the tornado and quarter-size hail moving northeast at 20, and the storm was located 4 miles northeast of Tiowa, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. So it has slowed down, and the latest updates on our radar view here on our high-definition radar show that it's not quite as tightly wound up and organized as it was just a few minutes ago. So hopefully that's a sign that this thing may be starting to cycle down just a little bit. We certainly need that to happen, as this thing has been going for a long time, but hopefully these radar scans are a trend that this thing may be weakening a little bit, but we still have that tornado warning. So if you live anywhere from Pryor to the west and northwest, you definitely need to be continuing to take your tornado precautions on that storm. The other storm further to the north, a similar boat, still have a tornado warning, but it's not looking quite as impressive as at current time either. Let's go ahead and switch back to Max 1 here and get a different view of this. And there's that storm just to the northwest of Pryor. We still have that tornado warning, and then we'll go take a quick look at the storm further to the northwest or north of it, the storm near Welch. Just to the west of Welch, we still have a tornado warning on this storm. Radar indicated, nothing confirmed with this storm, but it's moving to the northeast towards Welch. So if you live from Welch and points to the west from there, you need to be taking your tornado precautions currently, as this is another very intense storm that could produce a tornado at any point in time as it continues its trek to the east and northeast. Mike?
Okay, thank you so much. And what we hope we're seeing with these storms, the process for today is we had storms, roll through earlier this afternoon. Those were elevated. That's why we didn't have a tornado threat. And hopefully that has weakened our atmosphere as these storms move to the east. And we'll take a larger view, and I'll get this in a better perspective for you. And we'll take a look at that storm south. So what I'm hoping is the environment is a little less favorable for tornadic development as these storms move east. Matter of fact, look at this cell. This was the tornado, the long track supercell. It's beginning to weaken some, still under a tornado warning, still a very dangerous situation as we could see it re-intensify. But what I expect is that the atmosphere here in far northeast Oklahoma, from Grove to down to the southwest towards Pryor, is a little more worked over, and I'm hoping that this trend of these storms weakening continues. So this is Bushy Head just southeast. There's Pryor looking to the northwest. It's still a tornado warning now in effect for northern portions of Craig County and northern portions, northeastern Rogers County, northwestern Mays County. Still, if you live northeast of Pryor along Highway 69, you still need to be in your tornado spot as this storm has been intense. But it is weakening. It is weakening. Still showing some signs of some weak low-level rotation southeast of Bushy Head, southwest of Adair, and moving to the northeast towards 69. So I hope that this is encountering a less favorable environment, or it could just be recycling and becoming strong again. As we see on HDMAX 8000, the Tulsa area is in the clear. We are in the clear now for Tulsa. I can't rule out a stray thunderstorm or two from redeveloping as we go through the rest of the nighttime hours. But the tornado threat has diminished significantly for the city of Tulsa. And again, we had numerous tornado warnings, still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, when in fact it probably should have been a tornado watch. And we are seeing those storms continue to move to the northeast. And even in thunderstorm watches, storms can and produce tornadoes, and we've seen that. So let's get the situation again. Earlier this evening, we had a tornado begin to develop in southeastern Osage County. Our storm teams were on it. We were looking at it from our perspective on CityCam. The tornado formed, moved along northern Tulsa County, 46th Street North. We've seen damage. Our storm team members had to go and help people that have been hit by the tornado. So the tornado continued to the east and stayed just south of Owasso, stayed south of the main area of Owasso, 46th Street North to between 46th and 56th Street North, and then moved to the east towards Claremore, doing damage southeast of Claremore as well. So we have news crews from southeastern Osage County, northern Tulsa County into Rogers County covering the damage. We have Jeff Smith, who is going to check on some folks, a house destroyed southeast of Claremore. This storm, though, is weakening, but still showing a little sign of some weak rotation northwest of Pryor. And we got that confirmed. I see no more tornado warning now for Craig County, and that's what we're starting to see here. And we're hoping that this tornado warning will be allowed to expire, or they'll cancel it as this storm is weakening, and that is a good thing. Now, we're getting Mark Bradshaw and Kristen Dickerson ready to go. We're going to have a special updates on news, and we're going to continue on. We're going to continue through the 10 o'clock news, as this has been a significant situation for northern Tulsa County to the northeast along I-44, where we've had tornado damage. Eastern Osage County, northern Tulsa County, and also another storm still south of Chelsea. Here's Pryor looking to your northwest, still under a tornado warning. We got to keep this warning going, because this storm has been relentless, and it's not time yet to give the all clear. So we still need to be seeking shelter as that storm moves to the northeast, but I want that weakening trend to continue, and I'm hopeful for that. And let's get a confirmation on the trend with that storm with meteorologist Aaron Reeves, who's in the weather office. Aaron, what have you seen in the past 5 minutes on this scan?
Just a similar situation as what we saw on the last scan. Not as strong as it was earlier, but still definitely showing signs of some rotation. We still have that inflow notch there just to the northwest of Pryor. Still a tornado warning on that cell. I'm checking for updates from the Weather Service here in just a moment. The spotter reported a touchdown west of Welch, but there is no tornado at this time. So we have had a brief touchdown to the west of the Welch area. So that's still a very dangerous storm. The further north storm, I'll take a view up to the north of that. The storm here north of Pryor, west of Pryor, still very strong, still severe. Still has a tornado warning, but not as strong as it was earlier. So that's good news. Hopefully that's a trend that continues. We also have this storm to the west of Welch that is still very strong. So if you live west of Welch or in Welch, you need to be taking your tornado precautions, as that storm is also still very strong. And we also have a severe storm, not tornadic, extending from Coffeyville down to the west of Lenapaw, moving to the east. Likely has some strong winds and some large hail with that. So as that storm moves to the east, don't be surprised if you hear some pretty intense stuff going on. But right now, that's just a severe thunderstorm from Lenapaw up toward the Coffeyville area, moving to the east. So that's what we have going on kind of the bigger picture. We'll take a look at that, and you can see really we only have 3 storms in our viewing area now. We have the one near Pryor, the tornado warned storm. The storm to the west of Welch currently does not have a warning on it, but take your precautions, as that one has had a history of being very intense and producing tornado warnings and possibly brief tornadoes. And then we have the severe thunderstorm that is from Coffeyville down to the northeast of Bartlesville. That is also moving to the east. And there's nothing off from Tulsa to the south and east currently, except for a few showers down here in portions of LaFleur and McCurtain County that are not severe. But this is what we're dealing with right now. Once these storms clear the area, things will begin to wind down. But we still have a tornado-warned storm just to the northwest of Pryor that is very intense, that has a nice inflow notch with that, and it also has some very good stuff with it. So not good stuff, but bad stuff. That the signatures are still good, though, for showing that it is rotating at least at the low level significantly. So if you live north of Pryor, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Mike?
Okay, and we always appreciate the reports coming in on my Facebook page at Mike Collier WX. You've sent in some incredible pictures, and we're going to be sharing those with you. We have pictures of tornadoes. I just shared one on my page, so you can see that. Also, damage concerns. Let's check in with one of our storm team members, Jeff, or I should say James Hilger, who has an update on damage. James?
Oh, this is Jeff Smith, Mike. Sorry.
Jeff, go ahead.
The damage, the destroyed house is at 495 Road and 4180, just east of Claremore, south of Highway 20. There was victims inside. They are out. They're okay. There was a gas leak, but there is emergency vehicles on site to take care of that.
They are okay, correct?
They're okay, yes. They were in the basement hiding. I didn't talk to them. They were shaken up. There was a couple other guys there, so I just let them do their thing and moved on. We're going to continue to check for other damage in this area. We've broken off the chase, so if you'll need me, just holler at me or something.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to check for some more more damage. Hopefully no more victims.
All right, we have some video from earlier from Owasso, and this was the tornado on the ground. This is James Hilger, one of our First Alert Storm Team members. This was the tornado earlier on the ground near Owasso, and this is the tornado that caused the damage, and you can see just the amount of debris on the ground. And yeah.
Oh, we have more video from him as well on the FTP we can share in a moment too.
We'll get that. I believe that's what we're going to be doing. So thank you, meteorologist Aaron Reeves, who's been doing a phenomenal job keeping us updated on our HD Max, Super Max. But that's new footage coming in. Excuse me. That was the tornado earlier as it was moving closer to the Owasso area. Again, this was a very dangerous situation for us here in eastern Oklahoma, where we had a long track supercell producing a tornado. There's the tornado from earlier today, earlier this evening. Again, doing damage to homes, to businesses, and there's some more footage of the tornado. You see the debris, and the debris being lifted up into that tornado, and just being strung around. And unfortunately, that's, that's people's homes, that's people's lives that are being thrown around, flying in the air. So this is a common scene, and this is something we'll be reviewing over the next couple of days and of course throughout this evening, as this has just turned into a devastating sight for us here in eastern Oklahoma. I want to go to Apple TV, guys, if we could. Just want to go through some pictures that our viewers have been sending in. This is from Christina Tyre. Okay, we'll get there in just a second. I can do it. Okay, so this is from Christina Tyre of the storm earlier this evening near Limestone, Oklahoma. Remember a warning about that potential. This was 86th Street North and 169 in Owasso. This was earlier, and this was from our viewer's perspective. And I'll see if I can get that full screen. There you go. As it pulls up, there we go. There's the tornado that was just to the southwest of Owasso, and this was sent in by one of our viewers. And you can go to my Facebook page at Mike Collier WX, and you're just going to see this is of course live television here. This is the storm earlier from Kevin Parrish. Pretty unique perspective. And again, we had a tornado. Let's see if we can get this. If I move this around, we can see more tornado footage, of course, on my Facebook page at Mike Collier X. You can continue to check that out. And let's go back to HD Max 8000 as we see a severe thunderstorm watch remain in effect till 10 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warning remains for northern Nowata County. We have the tornado warning still in effect for Adair, just north of Pryor along Highway 69 as that storm continues to move to the northeast. Give you the view on HD Max 8000. There's the storm in Lenapaw, still producing pretty significant amounts of rain and the possibility of some rather large hail, up to golf ball size hail possible as that storm moves its way from 169 northeast towards Chitopa, Kansas here in the next 30 minutes. Further south, the storm still tornado warning. Aaron, how's the rotation with this right now? Still seeing a lot of hail potential with it.
Still a lot of hail potential. The rotation signature not as strong as what we've seen earlier, but still definitely evident on the radar. And still large hail up to the size of, I'll pull this up, we still have hail up to the size of, let's see, inch to inch and a half. So quarter size hail with this storm and the possibility of a tornado. Nothing confirmed, it's just radar indicated currently, so that's fortunate news. Nothing confirmed on the ground at the moment, but we still do have a strong rotation signature just to the southwest of the Adair area, moving towards Adair. The storm is moving, it's 6 miles northwest of Pryor, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour, so it has sped up just a little bit from earlier, but still a very strong and intense storm. So if you live in the Adair area, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions. You'll also likely be getting some quarter to $half sized hail with this storm as it passes over, but definitely not looking nearly as organized as what we were seeing earlier. So that's good news, but don't take it lightly because it could repulse or re-intensify as it moves to the northeast. But the atmosphere in that part of the state not as favorable as the atmosphere was nearer to the Tulsa area. So the more this moves into the northeast, the less supportive the atmosphere is of tornadic storms, but that doesn't diminish it completely. You can still re-intensify and have that potential. But as long as this warning is here, you need to take it seriously. Mike?
Okay, thank you so much for that update, Aaron Reeves. HD Max 8000 still tracking 2 storms that are severe. If you live in Tulsa County, we are in the clear for now. At least the storms have moved well to the northeast. Still the potential for this storm to produce a tornado. Let's go to weather 6 or weather 7 where we have the tornado. This was the view earlier from our First Alert Storm Team members. This is James Hilger, and this is what the tornado looked like earlier. You can see the debris being lifted back into the tornado, and this was going just the southwest of Owasso and along 46th Street North. And this is what caused the damage, eventually moving east towards Claremore. But if you just watch that, unfortunately, just the damage that it caused, it will be significant, not only to homes, but businesses. And you can see a couple of other vortices develop along that. But there's the tornado. Look at that. Just wind up. Doing damage, unfortunately, as it's traveling. So this was earlier this evening. Here's 169. This is what we're looking at, 169 earlier this evening, and this was the tornado that we were watching. Our storm team members are now regrouping and getting the latest damage reports from the area. So that's something that will continue to pour in this evening. We have numerous folks without power as well across the metro region. And here's a zoomed in view, and there's the debris that's being picked up. And I know this is the deal. It does like, wow, that just looks like almost a string, but that actually could be a whole line of guttering. I'm just giving you an example here. And that is what does the damage. As it gets strewn around and thrown around, it hits other things and causes damage. So, and moving violently at a strong rate, that can do some significant damage. And we've seen that across the metro region. And there's debris in the air, flying around. Eventually that's on land, probably round itself around a tree or something like that. Just an unfortunate sight to be seen across northeast Oklahoma. And we have 8,000 folks without power in the metro area. That's still a significant number, but it's a lower number considering the fact that we had a tornado move through northern Tulsa County and move into southwestern portions of Rogers County. Again, that's moving northeast. That storm still producing tornado warning, could still produce a tornado and not showing the signs like it was earlier as it continues moving off into northeastern Mays County, heading towards Grand Lake, Langley, Disney. Go ahead and prepare for your tornado precautions as this gets closer to your area towards the Grand Lake area here in the next half hour. Tulsa in the clear, Bixby and Owasso, Tahlequah, Stillwell, east towards Fayetteville. Severe storm continues in northern portions of Nowata County. A strong storm in northern Craig County. That continues to move northeast into southeastern Kansas. Meanwhile, out west, all is quiet. Aaron, do we have an update from our storm team members on the kind of the damage they've been seeing?
We're still waiting for some more updates to come in at the current point in time. They're kind of still regrouping, but as I look at the HD Supermax, I'm definitely noticing that the gradients on the south side of that storm near Adair, even though we still have the tornado warning, the gradients are not nearly as tightly packed as they were earlier. It's a little more diffuse. It's, the gradient from the blues to the reds is a lot further apart, so that shows me that the inflow into that storm not nearly as strong as it was earlier. So that's hopefully one of the continuing signs that this storm may be slowly winding down, but it is definitely still producing a tornado warning. No confirmed tornadoes. It's still radar indicated rotation, and it's still showing up weekly on our velocity signature over here, and you still have a weak rotation signature on our reflectivity as well, and the hail sizes have been dropping continuously on this storm, so that's another sign that the updraft might not be quite as robust as what we saw earlier. The storm up to the southeast of Coffeyville producing large hail in that as well. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in a 3D view, as that's the main threat with this storm, are strong winds and large hail. As I zoom into this, you can see definitely this is a tall storm. We have a lot of high reflectivity values high up into that storm. That's the pink colors you see, and that's indicating the hail core in that storm. So if you live southeast of Coffeyville, South Coffeyville, just to the southeast of South Coffeyville, we definitely still have that potential for very large hail in that storm up to the size of some fairly large totals. Let's take a look at that quarter size hail or larger, maybe even up to golf ball size hail with that storm and strong winds up to 60 or 65 miles per hour. So that's that storm. I'll go ahead and take a wider view to the east toward the other storm, west of Miami, northwest of Welch. This storm, not severe. It had a history earlier of being very strong, but likely still producing some gusty winds and some small hail with that storm as that moves up towards the Chautauqua area and areas just to the north of Welch. So that's what we have going on. We still have the one tornado warned storm to the south of Veneta, near the Pryor area between Pryor and Adair. Adair likely picking up heavy rain and some small to medium-sized hail up to the size of quarters. The area that we would still be concerned for the potential of a tornado is just to the south of the Adair area, where you see this kind of appendage, this little hook feature coming off the southwest edge of that storm. And we also still have a little bit of weak rotation showing up where you see the blues next to these pink colors here on our velocities mode. So that's continuing to move to the northeast at around 30 miles per hour. So if you live in the Adair area or just south of Adair, you definitely need to be taking your tornado precautions as we speak, as this is still a very strong storm. The other storm near Coffeyville, just severe, mainly a hail and wind producer. It's moving east at 40 miles per hour and has wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour and perhaps quarter to $half dollar size hail with that storm. So that's definitely something if you live to the east of Lenapaw, to the south of the Edna area, up in southeast Kansas, north of Centralia. You want to be just keeping that in mind, as this storm will pack a punch as it moves through your area, but not a tornado threat currently with that storm. We'll have to continue monitoring it. But the storms currently don't look as intense as they did earlier. That's good news, but we still have this tornado warning to the north of Pryor that we are contending with, and that's what we're continuing to keep our eye on. Once again, this storm not quite as organized or intense as it looked earlier, but still definitely intense enough to produce the potential for a tornado.
All right, Mason, again, we have some new video. Mason's our producer. Okay, let's go to the video coming in from Owasso. Who is this from? Okay, this is from one of our news crews, and you can see damage to homes near the Owasso area. And so this was just now coming in. This is new video coming in from Owasso. And of course, you can see damage to trees, to homes. Hopefully no injuries. We don't, Mason, do we have any update on potential injuries or? Okay, and that's something that we'll continue to keep an eye on, as the first responders have been amazing tonight in getting out and helping these people, because when you have a long track supercell like we have, producing a tornado for a large path, think about all the resources that need to go to keeping these people safe. And so this is at 56th Street North. This is new tornado damage coming in as we speak. So again, just a unfortunate sight to be seen here in Northeast Oklahoma. You know, we couldn't, you know, obviously we stressed enough that you needed to take cover. This is new footage too. Vehicle, and I just posted this on Facebook as well. Okay, now we just have a report coming in, and this is something I didn't want to have to mention, but we do have 9 injured taken to hospital per IMSA. So we have reports of 9 people injured within the city limits, so from Owasso to northern Tulsa County. And the biggest problem we see these days is, I know a lot of folks want to go out and see the damage. They want to see the tornado. But you got to first let the responders do their job and help them out. Of course, help your neighbor out if you can. And another thing too is we are able to show you the tornadoes because we have the science degrees, the trained personnel to be able to show you those tornadoes. And the worst part of it is people will go out and they want to see the tornado themselves, and then they get hit by the tornado. Not to say that caused injuries, but we saw that in Joplin. We saw that in numerous situations now. So that's why it's so extremely important to take cover, and hopefully that everybody did that and we can get away with no fatalities. So that's something we'll be watching as we go through the evening hours, and of course our news crews continue to monitor the latest information. Again, our first alert storm. Okay. All right, let's go to David Norris, who's at 46th Street North in Hartford. David, you know, welcome to Oklahoma and looking at tornado damage. What kind of scenery are you looking at?
Yeah, there's lots of damage out here in this area. Right now, things are pretty dark, so dark. In fact, the only lights we see are from these emergency vehicles and headlights. This road right here, Hartford, they have it blocked off here at 46th Street because down the road from where we are, they have some power lines down. They're not letting anyone in or out of this area right now. And this is kind of the scene all over this immediate area. There's lots of traffic lights out, traffic is backed up on these smaller roads because people are trying to get home, trying to get out, whatever they're trying to do. Not a good idea to be over here. We have some video of this area. We also talked to people in this area. We'll have more of that coming up in just a bit.
Okay, thank you so much. That's David Norris reporting live from 46th Street North. Again, we have news crews as we transition from more of a safety and warning information now to bring you the news aspect of it and the folks that were injured or saw their homes damaged. And we're going to continue to bring those stories throughout the evening hours as our news crews are out covering that. Mark and Kristen will be joining us here shortly with more updates. But back to HD Max 8000 because we still have a tornado warning. We don't want to take it lightly for the folks that are north of Pryor as this thing will just continue on. This is the same storm. It's very rugged, very well disorganized, I guess you could say, but still has a tornado warning on it moving towards Langley, moving towards the Spavinaw area. Has the Weather Service talked about maybe allowing this to expire, or what's their latest update?
They have not yet updated us on what they're expecting to do with this storm, but it does continue to look less and less and less impressive. So hopefully the trend will continue and hopefully they will allow it to expire. Okay, thank you so much as we track that storm still moving to the northeast towards Grand Lake. And now the next coming days, we're going to have a lot of damage to clean up on. And as Oklahomans, we respond incredibly well. And I invite you to help your neighbors, to help your friends as we try to get through this cleanup over the next couple of days, because there's going to be a lot of it with that type of situation occurring earlier, the long-lived tornado. We have new footage coming in. And we also have an update from the Weather Service. They are going to go ahead and continue that tornado warning. There is still a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 3 miles south of Adair, and it's moving east at 30 miles per hour. So they're going to hang on to that for a little while longer. Okay. And are we still looking at James' video over here on the right on Weather 7? That's some of his video from earlier, yes. I can pull up the time lapse and see if that'll go ahead and play. There, it's a short view, but it plays quickly. I'll go ahead and do it again, but you can really see the structure of the storm as that tornado moves across. Yeah, so we're getting that in. That's Cliff Castile, right? Correct? Yes, okay. That's who that video is. That's James Hilger's video. Jeff Smith is still trying to maneuver his way around as he's encountered numerous areas of damage here in northeast Oklahoma. These storms are still strong, severe, northeast of Lenapaw, all the way into northern portions of Craig County, into southeastern portions of Kansas. Tornado warning continues northeastern portions.